Good evening, and welcome to the Old Ways. So what we'll do before we get terribly kickstarted too far along, as I always like to do, is I say hello to chat to make sure that chat can hear us and see us, just to be certain. So I'll give a 2-second or so pause for them to do that, and then we will get moving along on tonight's events. So tonight, what we have for you is some Cypher fun. Thank you, Skip. I appreciate that very much. So I am your normal master of ceremonies, Michael Diamond. I'm head of the Old Ways, but tonight I'll be playing Tanter Schmidt, the honorable ranger who fights with 2 weapons, as we are going to play some Cypher fantasy. And so that is my introduction, and to my right.
Hi, this is Mav. My pronouns are they, them. I'm head of Mythos for the Old Ways podcast and prolific Call of Cthulhu scenario writer on the Miskatonic Repository. And tonight I will be playing Drelden Mar, who is a tough paladin who slays monsters. Pronouns they, them.
Very good. And next to Mav.
Hi, this is Morgan, and I am playing Runk, the gloomy monk that strikes with mystic might. Pronouns are she, her. I'm a cast member on the Old Ways, and I play in a variety of APs and streams on the Old Ways, and you can just go find me there on Discord and all that jazz. That's it.
Awesome. And next to Morgan.
Hey everybody, it is Valley Girl Heather here. Once again, a member of the Old Ways podcast. This is my first main love home for online, but of course I'm usually with, you can find me Lightless Beacons, Miskatonic Playhouse, and even Symphony Entertainment on occasion. I am an RPG creator, but this is my first love in being here. And tonight I am going to be stepping into the world and life of Zyter, the cautious archer here with the Cypher System.
Fabulous. And joining us as a special guest for the first time.
Hey everybody, my name is Vixie Bell and I'm your friendly neighborhood player here at the Old Ways. Thank you for having me, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. Normally you can find me over at the Pocket Dragon Pub where I run, play, and produce games and a few other places, but you can follow me on socials for that under the same name. And today I will be playing Bavlo, a clever mage who blazes with fire, and I'm super excited. I get fireball at last. Anyway, back to you.
Awesome. And today's Master of Ceremony, go ahead. Who's running the game for us?
I'm Sean Reynolds, he, him, and I am a designer and developer at Monte Cook Games. We are the publishers of Numenera, the Cypher System, Old Gods of Appalachia, and many other games. And I and Monty and my co-designer Bruce date back to working on 5th edition D&D, 4th edition, and even 3rd and 2nd edition D&D. So we've been doing this for a long time. I'm really grateful to have this opportunity to show you all the new version of Cypher that we're working on and crowdfunding right now. And we're going to do just a little dungeon delve with some role-playing to show off the system.
Fabulous.
Is everybody ready?
I believe
Yes.
so.
Great.
As ready as we can be.
Do it.
All right.
Let's do this.
So all of you are young delvers who are adventurer-type people living in the city of Ptolus, which is notorious for delvers. This fantasy world has magic, but most of the weird stuff happens in and around Ptolus. So if you are a person who gets into exotic magic and then wants to make a name for themselves with swords and sorcery, you come here. In this case in particular, I'm going to say that Bavlo, you are a native of Ptolus, and you have a cousin who just inherited a textile workshop from their aunt. And your cousin Greta is the person who owns this now, and the place has been fallow for about 6 months while they're dealing with the inheritance and that sort of thing.
Mhm.
And earlier this week, Greta came to you and said, there's a problem in our little textile works. We were cleaning up some of the debris that's been left around. And there is a sinkhole in the basement that leads down somewhere. And you, as a resident of Ptolus, know that this city was built on a much older city. And on top of that was built labyrinth full of monsters and weird traps and such by this evil half god known as Ghoul several hundred years ago. And this entire region is called Ghoul's Labyrinth. And so there are many places in the city where somebody's basement has a little entrance to, a few dungeon rooms that might or might connect to something else. And most people just leave that sealed off, or they'll use it for storage. Thieves guilds and such use it to transport goods and sneak about. But this seems to be a fairly new one, and your cousin Greta, who is just a regular sort of commoner sort of person, is not prepared to deal with whatever sort of monsters might come out of that. And she also says that there were some mysterious footprints of people going in and out through this space and through one of the broken windows in the back. So she knows something has been going on, and she has asked you and your fellow delvers to take a look at it.
Okay. And I think Pablo would have immediately seen this opportunity for what it is, a way to get rich, and would have immediately contacted her fellow delvers. I assume we're all part of a group then, if
Yes,
that's the case.
we can assume that you've known each other for a few weeks, maybe delved a bit under the city and fought some evil rat folk and come back with some of the treasures that you have now.
It's always the rat folk. Anyway, yeah, and I think Pablo is about 5'3". She has dark brown hair that's in a ponytail with red, yellow, and orange streaks in it that she puts in herself. She very much is striking, but in an understated way. She's very much like, I dress like this for me, not necessarily to show off to the world. She wears a red and black sort of leather and fabric jerkin with black pants and boots, and gold earrings that are they look like the kind of plate earrings that maybe are would be think Orlocks from Castlevania, but like kind of Aztec vibe. With instead of turquoise, it's carnelian that's like embedded in them. And she's called everyone. I think the first person she calls it would be the person that she feels would be the muscle. So Runk or Runk. I don't know how to pronounce your name yet. You can correct me if I'm wrong. That would be the person that she reaches out to first. And then she would then reach out to the person who maybe she feels is clever. So between Zeiter and I guess Dralden, whichever one of you feels you have more intellect than the other, because I don't know what's on people's sheets. I'm taking wild guesses. And then last but not least would be the person who could provide more support, I would say. So she would gather them all together. But yeah, and I assume they would be gathered at the shop, but I don't want to take that from you if you want us to be somewhere else.
Oh, that's fine. You can meet at the Weaver location,
Yeah.
but it's actually pretty common for adventurers to meet up in a inn and tavern in this place called Delver Square that has a lot of businesses that suit delvers. This inn is called the Ghostly Minstrel, and it is called that because there is a ghost of a bard who lurks around the upper floor and sometimes plays music there. So
Okay.
here at the Ghostly Minstrel, you see all sorts of adventurers, brand new ones, some fairly famous people who are very experienced and are mostly there just to tell stories and buy drinks and such. And there's often a musician playing, a bard who will go do some delving and then decide that that's way too dangerous and will retire to work in the Ghostly Minstrel and just, earn some coin by singing stories about other people. So we can assume that you've all met up there, and Pavlo, you can catch everybody up on the situation with your cousin Greta's workspace. And if you have any preparations you want to know beforehand or make beforehand, you can discuss that now. It's only about a half hour's walk from the Ghostly Minstrel to this location that you want to explore.
So what had happened was there was a sinkhole inside of my cousin's shop. And I thought to myself, you know what? as probably a great place to find treasure. And so I called all of you. But I know we need at least 50 feet of hempen rope. And maybe something to, stab with. But I'm not really sure what else we're gonna need. Any ideas?
Zyder's leaning up against probably one of the walls, just stringing her bow and kind of restringing it and making sure that it looks as taut as the pull that she wants. Her chestnut brown hair in multiple braids pulled back into one large braid to keep it out of her way, which as they look, as she kind of tosses it aside, as it starts to slip over one shoulder, and she just gets annoyed. The little bit of gold embellishment that runs through the hair catches the light for just a moment before it swings back behind. She grabs the top of her bow and just kind of holds it off to the side and reaches down into a bag and rummages for a minute. It's a bit of a rucksack style that could be slung over her back. And she pulls out a roll of rope and kind of tosses it forward as it thunks onto probably the ground in front of everybody and then pulls out a couple of arrows out of her quiver, checking to make sure they are as almost the gleam of sharpness at the tip. And goes, yeah, I think we've got it. I mean, we just need to get down there, right? We just need to point our pointy things in the right direction.
Yeah,
I think we'll be all right.
We don't know what's down there, though.
Monster's a monster, generally speaking. I mean, a little bit of caution is, of course, warranted, but, those who are too cautious never find the glory they're looking for.
That's true.
Probably need
Morphine
some
is with us.
torches. Cool.
Torches,
Torches.
usually useful in a dark setting.
I know
do have
several
to
of you have
see.
some torches.
Yes.
Oh, I have some rope, but those things down there could eat. They could eat us.
I'm not going down there to be anybody's midnight snack.
Well, you really need to be safe. I have my spear, and Runk pulls out her spear from behind her back.
Why does everyone think it's gonna be me that gets eaten? What? She looks like properly offended, like, hello.
I don't think I specified who was getting eaten, Pavlov. I just, Pavlo. I'll get your name right too, Vixie.
It's fine. You can call me Bav if it's easier.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
You still have to call me Runk. Yes.
That's fine.
Yeah, Runk pulled out the spear. I didn't say who was getting eaten. Somebody might get eaten. Is it the right time what's the moon phase right now? Is it proper?
If you're asking about omens, then yes, this is a proper phase for starting a dangerous journey.
Yeah, it's not full, so that's okay. All right. Runk is wearing your, long flowing robes, but she looks really good in them. She's got like white hair. Pulled up in a bun, and she's got a long sash around her. She's got pretty petite features, but she stands about 6'8", 6'8". Wow, she's a really tall human. She stands about 5'8", and just athletic looking. I mean, she's got to work out and meditate and stuff in her monk life. So, she did not take a vow of peace, so she's good with this. But yeah, she's just, I suppose we can do this.
Will be an exciting adventure. We will kill many monsters. Dralden is leaning up against a wall. They're very big, about 6'5", very muscular. They're very muscly, wearing chainmail, even though they haven't set off on the adventure yet because they just enjoy the aesthetics of it. Uh, Pulling off the broadsword and looking at it, says, "I think we can handle just about anything."
Well, Pablo, you are the one who knows where your cousin's business is. So when you are ready to lead the way, just say so.
I think Bablo is a little pouty and like tracing like the table a little bit before she starts to get up to take everyone. She's like, I'm just saying, everyone always thinks it's going to be me that gets eaten first. One day it might be Dralden. Dralden's pretty crunchy with all that freaking chainmail. And like she keeps walking like as she's grumbling along.
Do you want to
Come now, Bev.
Yeah,
Think positive.
Do you want to walk there or do you want to hire a carriage?
How far away is it?
It's about
Is
a
it-
half-hour walk, so carriage would be convenient but not required.
Is there Uber in this time period? No. Say, but I think if it's more convenient to take a carriage there, she'd probably opt for that. It's very much like a practicality thing. Like, if it's a short distance for us to walk, we'll walk. But if it's more practical to have a carriage ride there, then that's what we'll do. Or that's what she'll opt to do.
So yeah, so Ptolus has a very mild climate. It's, on the verge of just drizzling right now. So it wouldn't be a hot walk, but, in the interest of sparing your feet for whatever sort of dungeon climbing and marching you're going to do, it might be better to take a carriage at this point. And it's just a few silver. You can spare that.
Then I think, then a carriage ride it is. If everyone's okay with that, I don't want to make decisions for the entire table without everyone saying okay. So,
Do we all fit in the carriage?
Yes.
I'm going to ride on top.
Man, I was gonna say that.
No, sorry.
Thanks,
I just want to get a Tanter.
oh, we forgot. But Tanter's been there the whole time. We're just here like grumbling around.
Yes, in true Tanter fashion, he has allowed you to continue to sort of monologue the entire time, as you are wont to do. And he has waited carefully because he knows at some point actual business will have to be done. And that's why I'm here, to do business.
Right. In short order, the carriage rolls up on the cobblestone streets to the intersection near where Bablo's cousin's business is. You are all able to disembark, and it is, this is not really an industrial level city, so it's not a factory, but inside you know that there are a large number of looms that workers could produce weave fabric on and so on. But Greta has given Bablo the keys to the establishment, and it is fairly early morning, so the day is reasonably bright, and you can enter whenever you like. It's a normal amount of people walking by. It's not unusual to see foot traffic, and there are various other businesses here, so you're not drawing any strange attention.
I'm pretty sure that Bab's response to Tanter suddenly like being present and reminding everyone that's still there is just to like jump 10 feet in the carriage, like, oh, you have to say something, Tanter. I can't just. Sometimes you just fade into the background, and it's a little off-putting.
I just smile. I don't say anything.
Great. Good talk. Good talk. Steps off the carriage.
I'll also remind you that Greta said that there was signs of someone going in or out through a broken window. So I don't know if you want to go to the front door or go around to the alley and investigate other entrances first.
I think that Bav would give this information to the rest of the table, and that maybe we can decide as a group what we want to do.
Well, we should split the party for sure. Some people go to.
I'm certainly going to want to investigate that alley. I'm going to assume that our heavily armored and muscled friend will want to take the honorable way through the front door, and so I'll just begin sort of skirting my way to the back.
Through the front
Does
door.
anybody?
Mm.
Yeah, let me know who's going to the front door and who's going to the back with Tenter.
I think Bav will go to the back.
Babu, who do you give the keys to since you have the keys to open it?
I think she is going to give them to Dralden and say, sorry, I said you'd be crunchy and good with ketchup. Here you go.
It is true. You're allowed to speak truth.
Geraldine, do you want to open the front door to this place?
Absolutely.
All right.
Drelden charges in.
All right. You turn the key in the lock and push the door open, and you charge in to a small, like, sort of corner alcove and in a much larger open layout that has a lot of looms on it. And there are some high windows up ahead, up above, and in the kind of shady light in the back, you can see that there is one ground level window that seems to be broken. And Tantor and Bavlo, as you're making your way around to the back, you do see that in the alley there's a reasonable amount of trash and debris left behind by various people, and you can see about halfway down the building's length is a simple wooden frame with shutters. The shutters are open, and you can see that there's glass on the ground. Runk and Zyder, are you going to follow Dralladin in or wait in the street?
Oh no, I have to follow Dralden, but about 3 to 8 steps behind, because I'm sure by the time I take 2, Dralden would have taken 5 or 6 and run into something in the store, while Zyder is just wishing that the cousin actually owned a tavern versus a fabric store, textile store. But just waiting to hear the whoomp of Dralden as they run into something. And I just take my time in.
I'd like to do a double check of the outside. I'm having a little anxiety about, making sure nobody's watching us. There's no creepy crawlies in the night. I just, it's like double checking your garage. You drive around the block, to go make sure you closed it.
All right. There's a man carrying a chicken who happens to be passing by. He's paying you no heed. And another person in a nice dress with a kind of purple gown, and just some other people doing their daily business, and none of them are paying any special attention to you.
I squint my eyes at the chicken.
Chicken stares at you with weird chicken eyes.
The demon chicken, for sure. Yeah, I follow behind. I follow behind Zyder into the front door.
And Team Alley, what are you doing back there?
Well, there's clear glass on the ground here. There's a busted window, open shutters. I mean, I'm no Columbo, but this seems probably like a method of entry. And so if there's no door, I'll, depending on how high the window is, I'd probably either look up into it and see if I can see anything else. Or if there's an actual proper back door, then go to that.
So the window is high enough that you can peer into it. You have to step up a little bit. There's no door back here because there are no codes for buildings to protect worker safety if there's ever a fire.
Well,
There's probably not even a sign telling you where all the fire exits are. It's fine.
As the honorable fighter, the honorable ranger, I'm going to take my pad of paper out and write down to remind my Ptolus alderman that we need to have building codes updated in this city. And then after that, I will...
While you're writing out this building code, I think Bav is just going to stick her head in the window if she can. Or if there's a back door. I wasn't sure which one of those two things is present.
You do not see a back door.
Okay,
But Dralden, you do see briefly like a silhouette of a person pop up in the window and then disappear again, and then a different silhouette pop up, and then you realize that that's Tantor and Bethlo.
I released my grip on my sword.
And so, Tantor and Bethlo, you can see that in the alley, the glass is broken outward.
Oh, interesting. So someone busted out of this place. Well, no time like the present. All right, Bav. I put my hands down. In you go.
All right. What am I doing? Just going inside and.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I'll be right after you.
Right. And she hops on. And I guess takes the leg up, right?
Yep. I give her a boost in.
All right. So those of you who are inside see Bavlo being boosted through the window. And Bavlo, the first thing you notice is it smells kind of gross back here and musty, wet. There's been a dead animal nearby sort of smell.
Ah! Oh! What
are
died?
the other people inside who came in through the front door? What are you doing? Like, as I said, there was this kind of corner, almost an office, but it's not separated by 4 full walls and a door. It's just a set-aside area, and then multiple rooms all around the area. So you have a pretty good line of sight anywhere in here, and but some of the looms are blocking some of the corners.
Having a look for footprints, things of that nature, because I want to know what came through here.
All right.
Probably headed over towards the window until we see them starting to climb through, and then give Bav a hand, just in case, you don't. If I'm sure the glass is jagged, so here, let me help you.
Sounds good. So Zyder helps Bav in, and Tantu, you're going to go in after?
Yeah, I'm going to do the good thing and not just let Bav, squirrel away in there by herself.
All right. So those of you who are in the back definitely smell this dead animal sort of smell. Drowlin, looking around, you do see several tracks just kind of wandering around. Well, you haven't met Bavlo's cousin Greta, but you can assume that Bavlo's cousin Greta might be approximately the same size and shape as Bavlo. So it's this, this feminine boots walking around, perhaps as she was surveying the area. But there are also several other sets of tracks that have made their way through the dust.
Human tracks?
Yes, human tracks.
Okay.
And Zyder, Bavlo, and Tantor, because you are in the back and you have a better immediate view of this, there is a large loom that is, you don't know about weaving. I assume that you're not, professional weavers, but it does seem to be oddly placed that this loom is kind of crammed almost in the corner. Almost like it's hiding something behind it.
Would it be fair to say that my cousin wouldn't have allowed this because that's my cousin's occupation? Like as someone who works in looms and textiles, or like in the textile industry?
You're not sure how much time she has spent in this location since she inherited it, but you can assume that she is reasonably informed about why a loom would be there as opposed to somewhere else.
Right. I guess my question is more like, would she even allow this? Because my thought process would be like, she would never let this just be in this position since it's odd or off.
You know that she's inherited this because her father passed, and so she's been a little distraught about that and probably not so much thinking about getting the business started up again as what are my responsibilities, how much of this is salvageable, etc. And so it's unclear to how much extent her thinking about whether these things should be placed is a significant factor for her.
Got it.
What is a rump doing? I know that Zyder went back to help people with the window.
I'm wandering through the building. Is there any doors or anything around?
No, it's pretty much an open layout except for these various looms. But you do see Bavlo and Tantor, and I guess Zyder, who's back there as well, kind of remarking on how there's this loom that seems to be out of place, wedged into a corner.
Yeah, I'll go over and try to move the loom.
Okay. You're pretty strong, so you can just kind of slide and work it out. And behind the loom, in this little kind of secluded space, there is a large wooden trapdoor in the ground. that is closed, but is not secured with a metal pin. It has a metal pin, but it's not locked in place right now. And you can see that there are several tracks leading to and from this space. And the smell is particularly bad here.
Yeah, I point at it, the trapdoor. It's like, sooner we get this done, sooner we can leave, sooner I can go drink at the bar or the tavern.
I mean,
Your enthusiasm truly is inspiring, Runk.
Taverns have bars. It's a bit above, but you know, the smell gets worse here. So, we might all need to find a bathhouse after this little trip. Anyway, onward.
Onward.
So you open up this trapdoor.
Ah.
Okay.
Down this way, right?
Right.
Beneath it is a wooden ladder, and it leads to some sort of basement storage space.
Does the ladder look like? How old does the ladder look? Does it look like it's going to hold us, or it looks? Or is it like?
It looks like it'll hold you. Yeah, it's
Okay.
You can only see part of this basement space because you're not yet down there. But it's a sturdy wooden ladder that's been attached to the wall at an angle. You go down.
Yes.
All right. Further down in this space, which this is only about a 10 by 15 small area, and there's a few bolts of half consumed spools of thread and a few other boxes of storage things. One corner, the floor has collapsed, much as Greta had described, leading into a deeper area that does not look to be part of this business at all.
I'm assuming that is why we're here. As she looks at Bav.
Bav looks back and says, I think so. Yes.
And is that where the smell is coming from?
A bit. There's also kind of a sort of stale earth dungeon sort of smell. You're not sure how much of the dead animal smell relates or is mixed in with that, because you're still pretty proximate to the main level of the rooms.
I don't know. I think my elven sensibilities are a little on the offended side right now, but okay.
Your elven
Ooh.
sensibilities. Ugh. Maybe we should
Well.
also be working with the light since it's a bit dark in here.
I strike a torch.
Right? Tantor has a torch.
Bav jumps 10 feet because Tantor hasn't spoken again. So, oh, Tantor, every single time.
I pass you the torch.
Zyder looks around to see if by any chance there is a lantern or a torch on the wall or something that we can use before we use our own stuff.
There
Already struck
is
a
an
torch.
old lantern here in the basement.
Excellent. Zyder will go over and grab it and see if it's still functional, and if it is, we'll bring it over to the lit torch and try to light it off of it.
Yeah, you can light it. It seems to be about half full of the amount of oil that we normally have.
There we go. This ought to help and is left open, just in case anything down there. I do believe a good spider web or two will go just right up in your face if flame comes near it. So this might be a little bit safer initially. Otherwise, we can probably lower it down just to get an idea before we all start climbing into the unknown. You know, good to be a little cautious.
I'm already in the corner tying up my 50-foot of rope around my waist to go down to the...
All right, so you're going to lower light down first?
Yeah, Cider will take the end of her rope, tie it to probably the handle of the lantern, and just kind of slowly bring it, send it down to at least get the lay of the land, so to speak, down the ladder.
So this lower level is about 15 feet deeper than the ground level of the basement. And there is an amount of rubble and earth that presumably was the floor / ceiling of this transition area. But you can see that the larger pieces of rubble, small boulders, are seemingly with intent have been arranged underneath this space as if someone wanted to make it easier to climb up and down.
Well, that's not natural. Does it go all the way to the bottom? And then I'm assuming it's
at the bottom.
The lantern. So I sent it all the way down. It's 15
Yes,
feet.
you're
So
able
it
to
would
load
actually
all the way
get
down.
to there. Okay.
Yes, and now it's resting on the floor.
I can hold this in place temporarily if you'd like to keep it underneath you while somebody else goes first.
I think Runk is ready to go, right? You look ready, Runk.
Yeah, did we tie the other... Was I able to tie the other end to somewhere in the room?
Yeah, there's like a rafter here that you could tie it to.
Yeah, we could all... This yank on it. All of my, like, you know, I'm a $150.
Yeah.
It seems sturdy enough.
This is
just
a
wanna-
sturdy 4-inch beam, so it certainly could even hold Draldin's, right? I think Draldin's probably with the chainmail and everything, they're probably the heaviest character.
I like how
Yeah.
I called Runk the muscle. Too. I'm reminded of this.
You were thinking of Kung Fu Panda, which is what I
Yes.
initially thought of. And I was like, yes, I'm gonna be a no. We're gonna go the cute nimble route. And so I climbed down. Yeah.
Everyone else go down?
Yes.
Yep.
Right. So you were
Zider will bring up the rear and bring her rope with her. And once down at the bottom, we'll untie it from the lantern, put it back, and grab the lantern.
All right. And
How are we
Tetris
getting
still
back up,
doesn't work.
Zider? Did you bring the
Your
whole
rope-
rope down?
Your rope is still attached. She
Oh,
just
okay.
brought her rope.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, you have your own rope. Okay.
I think
I'm
since-
bringing my rope.
Runk is like
Yeah.
freaking out.
Runk, we're going to be able to get back to the bar. Just relax.
Okay.
All right, so you were in a portion of what you assume is Ghoul's Labyrinth, and it is about a 15-foot wide hallway lined with mortared stone, and there is a slightly curved arch to the ceiling here where the sinkhole hasn't broken through. And in this location, it goes north. Seems to dead end just about 10 or 15 feet south of here. So the only way you can go is north.
I think Bav is pretty fascinated by being in this portion of Ghoul's Labyrinth because it's not often you get to be in like this place that has so much history / lore around it. And I did want to point out, did we put out the torch? Was that a thing that we did? 'Cause we have the lamp.
Tanter's carrying it.
So Tanter's still carrying it.
For now.
So as the glow of the lamp and the torch sort of light up the space, I think Bav is looking around at the walls and things just to see if there's anything on them, any kind of reliefs or drawings or anything of that nature, just out of curiosity. And maybe even like a clue to a treasure or something that could be down here.
All right. So looking at the walls, there is some Delver graffiti, and some of it is much older than others. There is a very faded one that you can see written in charcoal, and it's mostly smudgy smudge, died here from a crossbow bolt. But in another location is an arrow pointing further to the north, and it says safe water.
Safe water. What does that mean?
Draldin has already started moving off in the direction, like off north, because their whole thing is they just want to kill evil things. That's their purpose. They're not here for treasure. Like, we are going to destroy these evil things beneath our city. I'm going to go find some, and starts moving off without paying attention to what everyone else is doing.
Draldin, it could be danger. Oh. Well, guess we're going that way. And she follows Draldin, still mumbling like safe water. Like, what does that mean? As she follows.
Are there any abilities that anybody wants to activate now that last a while as a precaution or for pure aggression?
I feel a little worried that you asked us that, actually.
I just wanted to give you the opportunity.
Oh, okay.
Hold on, I'm looking.
Yeah. So I can use this ability, but I can't use it again until my next recovery roll. But I'm going to put find the way down right here, because this is where the adventure actually starts, and I want to know how to get back here. So this ability says when you're tracking a creature, have gotten lost, or don't know the first step to take to begin a journey, or are attempting to choose between two or more routes, I can ask the GM about one question or task, and you will provide a short but helpful answer. And so, I guess my question then is, what does safe water mean?
So with your limited experience as a Delver, but you are very experienced in doing various rangery tracker sort of things, you suspect that this is a note left by another Delver to indicate that there is water that is safe to drink nearby. There are a lot of people when they go delving, they plan to stay down for several days at a time, as opposed to going back up at the end of the day and going to the tavern like Runk wants to do. And so they basically camp down here, and it's good to know where safe sources of water are so you can refill your water skin.
Perfect. I'll disseminate that information to Bav in the form of, it means you can get water to drink. That's what safe water means.
Oh, thank you. I guess then we won't be thirsty then.
But it also means that other creatures will have found that it is safe water as well.
That's also bad. And I'm going to tap myself and cast Mage Armor, because that's a thing I can do. It costs me 1 intellect, but I have an edge in intellect. So that means it costs me nothing, I think. If I recall correctly, I could also be wrong.
You're correct.
Yay! So this allows me to block attacks with an eased intellect defense roll instead of a might roll, which is great because I got nothing in might. So, but yeah.
That also reminds me, Bavlo, you have an ability on the back of your character sheet called Prepare Spell.
Yes.
That gives you several options. So you should choose which of those you prepared for today.
Well, that's the thing. I was like, I could have used Dark Sight, but we have torches on. I think I'm gonna stick with that one. I feel like that's the one that one or enhanced climbing were the two that I was looking at. So
Let me know which one you pick. And anybody else have a long-term ability that you would like to have ready now? Okay, so you're going to proceed north this way, following Dralden, who is not walking slow.
I'm gonna choose Dark Sight and take those 2 intellect points from my pool, I believe, because it cost me 2 intellect points according to this.
Yeah,
So.
but minus your edge, of course.
Oh, minus my edge, so it's only costing me 1. Love me some edge, anyway.
Okay, and Dralden, you are in the lead, and Zyder and Tantor, you are carrying the torches, probably trying to keep up with Dralden so that they can see a reasonable amount.
Yep.
And Dralden, with you in the lead, you are the first person to see that there is a large metal door up ahead that has, it's ajar. It's not wide open. It's not fully shut, but you can see that it is like ajar about 5 inches.
Door open. Might want to peek through before we go charging in. I know, not my normal method, but just in case.
Are you saying that out loud, or are you saying that?
I'm saying that out loud.
Better
not
safe
quiet.
than sorry. Better safe than sorry, Dralden. You do have the heaviest armor, though, so.
Who's going to peek through the open doorway?
I'll do it.
Cantor, if you want to give me the torch.
Oh.
I have torch in hand. I'll do it. It's fine.
Oh, if you so wish.
I do.
So you can kind of peek your head through there. The angle is not particularly good because it's a heavy door. I'm assuming you're not wanting to touch or disturb the door just yet. But you can see that the hallway continues on. Beyond this, you can also see, being this close, is that the metal door has the remnants of some sort of runes etched in it or carved in it, not quite sure. And you remember hearing from other delvers in the Ghostly Minstrel that a lot of the sections of Ghoul's Labyrinth were sealed off by powerful traps and magical spells. Presumably this one has been activated or dispelled or something because the door's open.
It looks like some wizard craft here on the door.
How tall is Tantor?
He's probably a little over 6 foot, probably 6'2", 6'3". He's not
Close.
massively built like the paladin, but he's probably he grew up as a hunter and farmer, so he's probably got I mean his might is 15, so he's probably fairly well built.
Pavlo like appears under his arm, like to study the runes. That's why I wanted to make sure I could just kind of appear like a
Sure.
cat. And she's like studying the runes. She's like, "Oh, this was a trap. Good
Yeah.
thing it already went off." And is there anything? I have a skill called magical lore. Is there anything I can glean from these runes?
Yes, without making a roll, you know
Mhm.
that this is some sort of triggered fire trap. But if you want to make a roll for more information, go ahead.
I shall. What's the number I gotta hit?
I'm going to say this is difficulty 4.
Okie dokie. Oh, 13. Yeah, buddy.
Okay, and you're trained. So you know that this rune would have kind of just done this rolling wall of fire outward from the door down the hallway in both directions.
Right. So these runes would have cooked us, not in the fun way. Fire from either side. We'd be extra crispy.
There's a fun way to be cooked?
Depends on perspective, I guess.
Well, if it's sprung, we can keep going.
Yes.
Just gotta watch out for more.
So,
Well,
Drowden, are you going to try pushing the door?
Mm-hmm.
All right. It seems to be wedged in place by something on the other side.
Maybe a skeleton. Who knows?
be
Very
someone, maybe
crispy
the person.
skeleton.
Right, someone who's extra crispy. Well done.
Can I use my strength to try to move it?
Give it a shot. Why don't you make a might-based roll for me? And let me know if you want to apply effort. This also will be a difficulty 4 test.
Difficulty 4. Okay. Okay, that is an 18.
Okay, yeah, you just shoulder up to it and you push this thing open. And you step into the next area. Right. So beyond it, you can see that, yes, there are the remnants of some long dead skeleton there, but also more large pieces of rock, similar to the ones that were dropped to the bottom of the sinkhole, almost like somebody had come through this way and mostly closed the door and then tried to keep anyone else from coming up.
Obviously unsuccessful.
And the corridor continues straight ahead and off to the right, which I'm going to arbitrarily say is east.
Feel like the stone thing is some kind of a motif. Maybe they were decorating?
Well, I'm curious what you expected them to decorate a dungeon with other than stone.
This is just her commenting. She's just...
Put some lovely skulls up, a few femurs here and there.
Yeah, I would imagine that our time with Bav, we've realized that she just sort of continues to talk to keep herself calm, and that's just something we've all accepted.
It's true. I think the more anxious she gets, the more she talks.
Right.
It's like half to herself, but also like to the group.
Mm-hmm.
So just past where the split off to go east is, there is another prominent charcoal mark that says safe water. pointing north.
Safe water then?
It seems as good a direction as any at this point.
All right. Move back north then.
And rocks will never replace the beautiful green of the forests. But each to their own, I suppose.
Draldin, are you continuing to set a speedy pace?
Oh, yes.
All right. So anybody following Draldin, they are walking on dusty footstep prints in the hallway and kind of tromping over them with metal-clad feet.
Aye.
Several people have come this way in either direction.
I'm going to make my way a little bit further ahead to the trampling paladin and remind them, hey, you should be careful because you're not paying attention to where you're going.
And as
Going this way.
As you are speaking to Draldin, you do see that there are some remarkably, perhaps disturbingly large bare footprints in the dust heading in the direction that you're going.
Yeah. Bear. I point down at the ground.
That's B-A-R-E, not B-E-A-R.
Oh.
Oh.
Bare feet.
That's good. I had to change my notes as soon as you're like, it's not.
Not a bear.
It's not an
Okay.
actual bear.
I got really excited. I was like, yeah, we're gonna go.
Dungeon bear.
Morgan does love her animals,
That's
no matter
true.
where they can be
That's
found.
true.
do.
She knows there's no horses down here, so bear is the next thing.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm sure Sean could
gotta
whip
have
up a horse down here for us that I can.
No, bad.
So-
Stop. Bad part.
Bare feet. What's kind of size, like, are we talking about? Like, how large would I estimate the person is?
Assuming that this is proportional, they are
Mhm.
probably 12 to 13 feet tall.
Ah. That's the problem.
And there are a lot of ratmen tracks in and around this very large set of footprints.
Oh, that's exciting. I suppose I should let the rest of you catch up before we move on.
Yes, I think that would be at least wise looking at the size of that. Oof. Okay, well, at least we won't miss them. Hopefully my arrows won't either.
This is fine. We're doing great. We're just treasure. Yeah. Oh
Evil.
boy. That too. That's really important, getting the evil, but also the money. It's trade off.
Treasure? You didn't say there was treasure.
Well, I came down here. I thought there was going to be treasure, and then we could all have a nice payoff. Then we could all go to the bards and have a drink with our new gold.
I'm drawing a map in my journal that I'm out. I'm not really like looking up. I'm just kind of following the light. So, and the voice. The voices. So.
So further up ahead, you are seeing another source of light other than your lantern and torch. This light is about the same brightness as torchlight, but is flickering green, and it is coming from a room, and you don't have direct line of sight to the source of the light. It's just kind of casting this greenish light into the room. And in the room, there is some sort of round structure on the floor, and barely visible in light, you can see a very large figure crouched, seeming to examine this round structure.
I think Bab immediately drops to a whisper and goes, "So, I think we found the owner of the feet. You know, the ones that we saw just now."
Zyder strings her bow and just kind of holds it down in preparation.
Yeah, I'd probably take the torch and probably put the torch out just in case, and then draw both of my long blades and do the thing that Bab doesn't like, which is get real quiet and disappear somewhere.
And Zyder, do you turn off the lantern?
Yeah, before stringing the bow, she'll I'm guessing, is it a hooded lantern or is it just completely open?
It's completely open. It's like
Okay.
a commoner's lantern.
Okay. Yeah, so it'll be like, blows it out and kind of very slowly and quietly puts it down to hopefully not attract any attention, and then very carefully and quietly, expertly put arrow to bow.
Right, so it sounds like people are trying to sneak forward. So everyone is doing sneaking. Please make a stealth roll.
So while people are making stealth rolls, just as the admin portion of the channel, we're going to get an ad break here in a second. So I don't want anybody to miss anything. So while ads run, we can wait to report the outcome of that stealth roll, if Sean would be good enough to give us the difficulty of said roll.
Let's say the difficulty is just 2, but that is a complicated answer.
Trained in stealth. Does that make it a 1 for me?
Yes, but I take care of that on my end. So you just tell me your roll and that you're trained.
Okay.
All right.
Can't wait to tell you that one.
We'll be back in like a minute and a half, folks.
We're waiting for after the ad break just want to double check.
Yeah, for sure. Oh man, I can't wait to report that roll.
I am concerned.
It's either that good or that not good.
So since I GM a lot of Cypher, I don't get a chance to roll dice. We were talking about this pre-stream. We're like, oh right, I need dice for this because I actually have to roll something.
Same.
And so the die that I'm using is pretty fancy.
Well, it is really fancy.
It's 40,
Wow.
40,
very nice.
40 millimeter. We're going to give it away at our Gamehole Con event this year when we play our own version of Fantasy Cypher there live. Hopefully, we'll be streaming that here
Yes.
on
Yes,
channel.
please.
So we've got some giveaways that we'll do for the channel. But yeah, it's really nice looking. I really
That's
like the way it
really
turned
pretty.
out.
Yeah.
So yeah, fun giveaways, all sorts of stuff we'll do.
Mine are fire themed. They're little orange dice.
And we're back from ads now. So those of you who are can now enjoy all of the fun we're about to have.
Oh, fun we shall.
Let's get the result of your stealth rolls, and let's start with Pablo. Okay,
2.
and we'll just go clockwise on my screen. Say Tantor.
So I rolled a natural 20.
Nice. And Dralden.
I got a 12.
And then Zyder.
6 trained.
Okay. And Runk.
I didn't stealth over. I'm just sitting in the back,
Okay.
and I have a spear that I can. Yeah,
Oh, sorry. I should mention I'm trained as well. Thank you.
Right. Okay. So, Tantor and Dralden and Zyder and Bavlo are creeping forward. And you get to the part where this hallway that you're in opens up into the room. And first of all, the round structure in the middle of this room looks a lot like a well, like you would find up in the city. The large figure is a tall giant whose skin is kind of this slate gray color, and they're wearing a simple sort of like almost knee-length pants and a very large oversized tunic. And they have a big bag made out of leather, and they are dipping an oversized water skin into the well. Accompanying this giant are 4 ratmen, And you know that ratmen are like savage, weird things. They like usually worship chaos gods and they just hate anything that aren't ratmen and stuff. But these ones are just like staring with rapt attention at this giant. Like, so the ratmen do not notice you approach. But when everybody but Tantor creeps up, the giant notices you there, and he takes his giant water skin out of the well and backs up to be on the other side of this, the other side of the well. And when he does that, the rat men like look at him and then look at see what he's looking at. They see you and they all grab their weird little spears and hooked knives and that sort of thing and make weird guttural hiss noises. But the giant doesn't seem to be hostile.
Cider wants to position herself. I'm going to use Overwatch. So I am basically going to hold position and keep the arrow trained, probably on one of the 4 ratmen, as they seem to be the ones acting up and not the giant. But I'm basically going to cover the doorway and I'm going to hold there until either they attack or we know that any danger is past. So that is, I guess I pull from my pool because that is 2 speed, but I do have edge. So I guess that pulls just 1, correct?
Yes. Nice.
Okay. All right. And that is, Zider is holding in place.
Okay. And we don't seem to be in combat yet, so we don't need to have initiative rolls. What's everybody else doing? Especially as Runk is way back.
No, I'm creeping up. I'll probably look under or over. I don't know how tall Cider is, or around, like what Cider is doing. And yeah, I'll have my trusty spear at the ready, and just kind of like sneak around the corner, but not move as forward as anybody else.
Okay. What's everybody else doing? The giant seems to be waiting for you to make the first move, whatever that is.
I've got my hand on my sword, but I haven't pulled it just yet, like out of the scabbard because I'm waiting. But I'll call out to the giant. Hello, friend.
And you have monster lore as a skill?
I do.
So I'm going to assume that that means you know a few words in various monster sort of languages. So we can call out in giantish.
Mm-hmm.
And
It doesn't seem hostile at the moment.
Giant tilts his head, seems to be masculine, and says, "I greet you, little one."
And I'll side-eye everybody else and then just look back and say in my careful, halting sort of language, what are you doing here?
He points at the well and says, "Getting water."
Are these with you? Pointing at the ratmen.
He looks at them kind of like, you're not sure if it's contempt or disgust. It says, "They are following me, but I don't." And he says something in giantish that you can't quite understand. There's some nuance to it.
I'll relay that to the others. Have you seen to the giant others pass through, come through here?
He says, and he points further on in the direction you were heading, so through this room past the well, and there is a doorway leading somewhere else. It says, I've heard noise this way.
He heard noise down there towards the door.
I think Bav taps Drawden on the shoulder. Drawden, ask him if he's the one decorating with the rocks everywhere.
Slow blink. Have you been moving the rocks? 'Cause I don't know the word for decorate.
He says, I like rocks. And he like reaches into his big leather bag and takes out a nice kind of polished boulder. You suspect that this was not originally kind of spherical, but he's had these big rocky hands. He's just kind of manually polishing it with his own strength for a while. So it's almost like a bowling ball.
I don't think so, Bav. But he's not hostile. I think maybe we should move on.
What about them? And just with the tiniest flick, just flicks the arrow towards the ratmen.
Not with the giant. Hey, as a paladin, Sean, like, what would my feelings be about these particular creatures?
The
Given what I
ratmen?
do. Mm-hmm.
You know they're pretty vile. They are acting strangely non-hostile, so you wouldn't necessarily feel obligated to charge in and smite them. But
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah, but if they do attack, you feel fully justified in killing them.
They're not hostile at the moment.
And they are their eyes are like going from whoever on your team is talking to the giant when he responds. They're just like seeming to wait to see what the giant is doing.
They're following him, and he doesn't seem to care for it, but they're not acting in a hostile manner.
I think Bav is like behind Drawden's bulk, like sticking her head out and going to the ratmen.
You want to try like an intimidation roll?
I can't. This is gonna be very funny if it works. But yeah. Intimidation. What would that be? Intellect? Am I rolling?
If you want to use that for to be intellect, yes.
Yes, okay. Okay. I rolled a 13. And
Okay.
I'm not trained in intimidating anyone.
Right.
So
But you used effort, right?
I had one whole effort, so I spent it here.
Okay. So you mean mug at this rat man, and its beady little eyes narrow a bit, and it says something to one of its comrades, and this comrade throws its curved knife at you.
Ooh.
Great.
Please make a defense roll, and here's where you choose if you want to block or if you want to dodge.
So I have a thing on here that says, actually a couple of things, but I think the one I'm looking at is deflect wound. Is that a thing I can use, or is that only if I am going to be wounded?
So that is a cipher. It is a subtle cipher.
It's a subtle
And-
cipher. Okay.
So you can use that in response to being hit. Personally, tactically, what I would save that for is, wow, I just got hit by something bad. I'm actually going to use deflect wound so I don't get.
Got
I'm
it.
just going to hand wave that.
Got it. Okay. So I'm going to hold on to that for now. I am wearing my mage armor though. So
So you actually have a third option because you could use your mage armor to do an intellect. I think it's an eased intellect roll to block.
Yes, it's an eased intellect defense roll instead of a might defense roll. And then if I succeed, you reduce the severity of the wound by 1 step.
Okay.
That's according to this. So hopefully I hit a good target number. Oh, that's a big 11.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's eased. So yeah, you're this knife goes zipping towards you, And you realize with your clever mage brain, you just kind of calculate the trajectory and realize how strong you threw it. And you're like, my spell can handle this. And it bounces and your spell just kind of flashes in like a sort of spider web pattern. And the curved dagger goes and just flies right off and you take no damage.
I think Bav just sticks her tongue out and immediately hides behind Dralden.
Well, they've attacked us, so here we go. Dralden was just kind of waiting for an excuse.
Sorry.
Pulls his
Side,
sword.
yeah.
So
Cider's
Dralden going to
arrows
attack?
flies.
Okay,
Yes.
let's
Yes.
roll initiative then.
Okay.
And that's a speed action if you want to use effort.
Okay.
I have an inability for initiative.
Okay.
And announce them in any order you like.
I rolled a 2.
Okay. I think I'm. What does I mean when you have a little check mark in I under skills?
You have an inability, so that's the opposite of being trained.
I suck at initiative. Yay! This is going to be a good time for everyone. Pick a fight. Can't even
Yes,
hold my own.
Right. Pick the fight, and then now you have to wait. So I have a 12 on my speed roll.
And
Pablo?
Zyder,
On Zyder, yes.
Oh. Zyder has 13, and she is still there with Overwatch in place. And attacks with bows is trained, so yay.
Pablo
Lucky number 7. Yay!
with an inability. And Runk.
I got an 18.
Okay, nice. Well, technically, Zyder has Overwatch going, so she can fire first.
Woo!
Yep. And when that the knife is thrown, and just as it bounces off, and Bav scoots back just out of range, the arrow flies. So
This ratman that threw the knife.
the one that threw the knife, yes. So, oh, that is a 14.
That definitely hits. How much damage do you do?
So normally it would do 5, but with Overwatch up, that gives me a +1. So I do 6.
Okay, that is a really good hit, and that ratman is not dead, but looks on its last scraggly, clawed little legs. And then we go to Runk, who was not using a tricksy little special ability to go first.
Yeah, so Runk already had her spear in hand, so she will toss it. Well, hopefully throw it really hard at one of the ratmen that is next to the one that Zyder took a whack at.
Okay, so you're choosing a different foe. You're not going to finish off Zyder's kill.
Nah, yeah, she's
All
got
right.
it.
Make an attack roll, please.
I got a 6.
That hits.
Oh,
How much damage do you do with your spear?
I got a 4 for
Okay.
damage.
All right, that's a good javelin-esque throw with your spear to hit this one. And next would be Zyder, but Zyder already went as a first action with Overwatch. So then it's Tantor in 12.
Okay. So
And actually, let me interrupt you very quickly because the giant's going to go, and the giant backs away like he wants nothing to do with this.
I mentally breathe a sigh of relief. I didn't want to fight a giant today. So yeah, the nice part about that is it'll allow me to step in to that space and then find the next foe which has not been harmed and attempt to stop this fight quickly.
Right. There are 2 that have not been harmed.
Okay, so I have the ability to double strike, and so I'm going to spend 3 might minus 1 edge, so that's 2. I'll make 1 combined attack with a weapon in each hand against one foe. So if I hit, I'm going to inflict damage with one of my weapons plus an additional 4 damage. That is a natural 20.
Nice. Okay. So that 1, you get your points back from that. 2, for your major effects, you could choose a major effect, or you could just choose plus 4 damage.
I'm going to choose a major effect.
All right. What would you like as your major effect?
Can I, through, say, force of hit on this first ratman, collide him with one of the other ones?
Yes, with the intent of like hindering it?
Yeah, hindering him. Yeah, you bet.
All right. How much damage do you do, including your bonus for double strike?
So total damage for that is going to be 6. Actually, so double strike. Wait, double strike damage is 6 plus 4, so that's 10.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, so you just kind of double stab this rat man who was completely not expecting to be quickly murdered by 2 long knives. And between pushing this one into the body of their comrade and the instant murder, I'm going to say that the 4th rat man, who has not been harmed yet, is just kind of momentarily stunned and shocked by how quickly the tables have turned against him. And the giant, as I said, moves away, but he's like keeping eye contact with Dralvin. He seems to have like understood that you are the person who's speaking with him, and is clearly like, And Bavlo, it is your turn.
I can't resist the urge to be silly here as the little chaos goblin that I am. And I think Bablo, after like these others you guys get murdered, this poor rat man is like all shocked and stunned. You hear from the back Bablo going, "Ladies don't start fights, but they can certainly finish them." And I'm gonna use blast. And the way I'm gonna flavor this is she sort of like snaps her fingers and it starts with a little flame, and that's how she's going to manifest her fire ability, her fire magic. And I think it says +1 intellect, so does that mean I spend an intellect? I just wanted to clarify because I wasn't 100% sure.
It's so that 1+ means it costs 1 intellect, but
So
your edge will apply.
Yes.
The plus means that you have options for applying effort that aren't just using the attack or damage. I think that when you can be like, I'm going to go and like slowly warm this area to melt some ice or something like that.
Oh, this is not a slow. I'm intending to barbecue you. Blast. But I think I spent my effort already. I don't think that I can use it again, correct? So
your attack is an action, so
okay.
It resets basically for every action.
Okay, great. Glad we could clarify that too, because I didn't want to, overuse my effort, and then everyone's but it's already spent, Pixie.
Yeah.
All right.
We also, just as an FYI for Cypher, we have gone out of our way to call out things like, this is an extra action on your turn. So oh, I can use effort on this other thing without having to stack it up badly.
So then, because by applying 1 effort, it gives me a little more control over the blast, I believe. So she's going to just focus it on that one shocked and awed rat person.
Okay. So like for any attack, you can apply effort to the attack roll or to the damage.
Ooh. I would like to apply it to the damage. Just go for broke. We'll drive it like we broke it.
And there are 2 that are wounded, and then the one that is surprised and stunned by the death of its friend.
Yes.
Which one do you want to attack? I'm
attacking surprised and stunned.
Okay.
And I'm rolling a new die while my other one goes to the spa. All right. That one's also going to go to the spa. Big 8. Big 8 for me.
That hits. These are, just, 4 foot tall, swarthy little rat men. How much damage do you do?
It says here that it does 4 damage. But I'm also applying my effort to that, so I'm not sure how much more that does.
Effort adds 3 damage.
So 7 damage total.
All right. And you now have barbecued rat man. And they're going to go, they being the 2 that are still alive. One is going to attack Tantor, and the other one is going to run up and attack Runk, So I need a Tantra and Rump to make defense rolls. You can decide whether you want those to be dodge or block.
I'll be blocking.
Can
And you
I,
have chainmail, Tantra?
I do.
Okay, so your block roll is ease by 2 steps.
Can I use my improved dodging? My Cypher? It says I have 3 assets on my dodge task.
You can, but tactically, I would suggest you save that for a difficult foe.
Oh, okay. All right, then I won't. Then I just take me as I am.
And Michael, what'd you get?
I rolled a 9.
All right, so you block, and since this thing would normally inflict a minor wound, your block reduces that by 1 step, so you take no damage. It's a nice case where block works out just as well as dodge does. And Morgan, so you're going to dodge, I assume?
I am.
All right, make your speed defense roll, please.
Got a 10.
That dodges. This rat man swipes at you with this nasty, kind of jaggedly broken sword, and you dodge out of the way. And then last but not least is Dralvin, who
Who would be
not
going
only-
last anyway.
Yeah, not only did you roll a 2, but you were attacking with a heavy weapon. So your weapon
Yep.
just means you have a last action, final action is what we call it. So
Mhm.
please make your attack roll on either of the
The
2
closest one.
wounded ones.
Yeah, the
That's
closest
probably
one.
the one that was fighting Tantra, because the other one had to run up to fight Ruck.
Okay. Okay, that is a 16.
Yeah, that
Overkill.
definitely hits, yes. And how many dozens of damage do you do?
8.
8. Just top to bottom,
Sleeve.
split in half. There's 2 half rat men that would make nice little kebabs if they weren't really disgusting and completely unappetizing. And we are back up at the top, and it is Runk who is acting in initiative 18.
Is the right man that attacked me still around me?
He's still around you, yes.
Okay. Fabulous.
Oh, and Drelden, when you chop that rat man in half, the giant kind of goes,
Appreciated that. So yeah, I'm going to take the ratman, and if they have hair or anything like that, I'm gonna
Yeah.
grab it and slam it down on the ground. I don't have time for this.
okay. Do you want to hurt it, or are you just trying to disable it?
I don't, I try to be peaceful, so I don't want to kill it. I just want it to go to sleep.
What's the name of the order that you're associated with?
It's Order of the Fist.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Peaceful?
fine. I, slam it on the ground and, pummel it with my fists.
All right, make an attack roll, please.
Man, I'm gonna have to get another dice. I got a 4.
Oh, but this is an unarmed attack, so your attack is eased.
Oh, that's true.
So you grab it by the scruff of its nasty, rattly neck hair, and you just pick it up and slam it hard on the ground, and you hear bones crack, and you think this thing is dead. However,
Huzzah!
Morgan,
Ooh,
I have a GM intrusion for you.
GM intrusion.
As you grab and crush and squeeze this thing and slam it to the ground, you feel that it's kind of like its neck is really slick and gross. And as you release this now dead body, you realize there's is this like pus on my hands, or is there something worse than that? You're not sure. I need you to make a might defense roll.
I smell my hands and gag. I get a 7.
Okay. Yeah, you've got this disgusting stuff all over your hands, and suddenly just psychologically you're like, oh, I need to wash these. You're already feeling very, very itchy and gross. So you get 2 XP for GM intrusion, and you need to pick another player to get the other one.
Well, as I'm running over to that clean water that's over there to go dunk myself in there as I'm gagging, I hand off one of my XP to Dralden.
All right, so you already took an action, so you're moving towards the safe water to dunk
Yes.
your disease-infested pussy hands in.
Yes.
And Zyder, it is your turn, and there is still one unharmed ratman left. While you are acting, Zyder, the giant is just kind of like edging his way around this whole troublesome scenario, like he's making his way towards the door that you came through.
Probably a smart idea, especially when any kind of scent of pus or any, as we see Runk, like whatever gunk dripping off, it's like, oh, no, 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 no. And that is a 17.
That
So
definitely hits. And your arrow, I'm sure, will kill this thing because it had 2 health left.
Yeah, and it does 5, so it's eased. So yeah.
Arrow to its creepy little beady eye, and it falls over dead with just a kind of despairing grunt of a squeak.
Yeah. Beady. Ugh. Hate those eyes.
Now, technically, Tantor and Bab and Dralden get to go, but the only foe, in quotes, is the giant. And the giant looks like he's trying to get out of here.
Yeah, I'm not here to pick a fight with a giant. He's been reasonable, and no reason to start something with him.
And he looks to Dralden.
I just nod my head towards the door and say, "Have a good day."
And he says in his giantish language, "Good fortune." And then ducks very low to get through the human-sized door, goes out into the hallway.
I think Bev puts both hands on her hips and says, "You know, I feel like we did a bit of pest control for him. It's a good deed, you know."
Dralden just looks very happy that they got to stab something.
So, Runk, what are you doing with your filthy, dirty hands?
How deep is that water, that pool of water?
So this is a well.
Yeah, I'm not jumping down that. No.
Yeah, like the giant was able to reach down. Like you could reach down about 3 feet to reach the water. You don't know how deep it is, but below the top rim of the well, it's about 3 feet down.
Okay, I'll grab, if there's a bucket or anything out, I'll grab water out and start running it over my hands and scrubbing it, and just, I'm gonna have to get some new clothes.
All right, so you spend some time washing your hands. You seem to be clean enough, considering that you don't have any soap or hand sanitizer.
Yeah, I know, I didn't have that in my pack. Is there any, like, spider veins or anything? Like, am I getting, like, magical powers or anything? Do I look normal?
Having rinsed your hands pretty thoroughly, they are looking, your hands are looking a little red.
I scrubbed really hard. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure that's just scrubbing hard. That's not, an ongoing infection or anything.
No. I clap my hands together and I'm like, all right. And I go and grab my spear out of the dead rat man. Peace be damned.
Right, there is a human-sized doorway leading north out of here. Oh, and now that you're in here, you can see that the greenish light that you identified from far away is a skull set in a niche, like a little tiny 1 foot by 1 foot alcove that is flickering with green flame. And it is some sort of, it's a deer, actually.
Well, let's press on.
Creepy. On we go. We should probably relight the torch and the lantern, though.
Yeah, I relight the torch.
I will relight the lantern with my flame powers. Just kind of snaps her fingers and lights it.
Nice. All right.
Arrows back and wipe them on the rat's clothing, being careful to avoid and the pussy one, and then tuck them away and put back the lantern.
Now
Get a
that
little
you're-
bit of that. Thank you.
Now that you're this close to the ratmen, you do think they smell bad, but it doesn't seem to be the same bad dead animal smell that you smelled back in the looms. You're going to
Do they
proceed?
have anything on them? Obviously, like a pouch or anything that maybe fell out.
They do have like they don't really wear clothes, but they do have like janky weapons and a couple of pouches and things like that. From what you've heard from other delvers, like whatever they have is not sanitary and definitely
Okay.
questionable. I
Okay.
mean, you can
Then I
feel
will
free to
leave
pick
those
through that stuff if you
behind.
like. I'm giving you the
No,
option to
no,
do
no.
that.
Well, one of us already might have the plague and probably will give it to all of us by the end of the game. So, but no, I'm good. I just want my arrows.
Question.
All right.
On we go.
All right. So this narrower hallway leads about 50 feet and starts to slope downward. And there, up ahead, you can see there are 3 passages leading off to the left and a large area up ahead that has been blocked by various kinds of debris. There's like an old broken door, more rocks, a table that's all just kind of been propped up against this space.
Okay. So it's just sort of detritus and stuff to block the path.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we're going to have to move some of this stuff to get through.
And there are these 3 passages on the left that you have not yet passed.
Ah, okay.
You'll have to pass them to get to where all this stacked up garbage is.
2 questions. The first is, does Runk smell? Because of touching the pus, even though they've like washed off, you know?
I mean, do you want to actively smell her hands, or are you just kind of like
No,
by
just
proximity?
seeing by proximity. Not she's not gonna go sniffing hands or anything like that.
She doesn't like overtly smell.
Okay.
There's still a strong bit of ratmen smell in the air, even though you've got about 50 feet. That might be Runk at this point. Not
know.
sure.
Got it. Second question. The room that we're in, does it seem like it might be trapped? Is there any way that I might be able to see if there are any potential traps in here if we like walk in further?
Sorry. So you are in a hallway, not a room.
Oh, in the hallway. I thought
Yeah,
we were in the room. Yep.
You were in a room with the
Mhm.
well, and you
Right.
traveled down a hallway past that.
Got it.
And if you'd like to search for traps in this hallway, you can. But you haven't discovered anything like that in the hallway so far.
Yeah, no, if we were in a room, I would check it, but not if we're like just moving through a hallway, I think we'll be okay. I hope
Okay.
we'll be okay. I hope I don't regret that decision, but we're here.
So do you want to investigate the first hallway to the left, or one of those other hallways to the left, or continue on to where all the debris is blocking things?
Probably would be easier just to take one of these hallways.
Right. And Dralden, are you still in the lead?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to take that first left?
I think probably yes. Like, oh, there's stuff up ahead we can't get past. All right, divert course. Just keep
Okay.
going. Going this way.
So you take that first left, and first of all, you see that once you turn that corner, you can see that there's a small room there with some indirect light flickering green, like presumably one of these skull torch sort of things. But what dominates your attention before you do anything about that is there are 4 animated skeletons in this room, and they have bone bows, and they all take fire at you. And rather than resolving these as separate attacks, I'm going to make this one kind of combined attack. So please make one defense roll.
Okay.
You can do dodge or block, your choice.
I'm gonna block because it's eased 2 steps because of my armor, whereas I'm hindered if I try to dodge.
Alrighty.
Okay, 17.
Nice. Okay, yeah. Between some, defensive movement and knowing where the best parts of your armor is, you absorb the brunt of that attack. It was going to inflict a moderate wound on you, just combined from all these arrows, but because you blocked it, that reduces it to a minor wound.
Okay.
And we'll go initiative again.
Okay.
Good thing I suck at initiative. Okay. This die has gotten on my good side, natural 20.
Nice. Okay.
For
So
Bav.
you're still hindered by 1, but you're effectively in 17. And Michael?
I have a 13.
13. And Heather?
12.
And Morgan?
5.
And Matt?
14, but I think I'm gonna go last anyway, I believe.
So for chat's awareness, Drowlin rolled a 14. So they could go in 14, but I know that Drowlin's weapon is a heavy weapon, which means that they always go last. But if you had some other action you wanted to take, like drink a potion or something, you would still be able to go in your normal sequence. But your slow weapon drags you to the bottom of the initiative order. Okay, and we'll start at the top with Bav.
Okay, so the first thing that I guess Bab sees would be shots fired, right? Or
Yeah, you see
something like
Drowlin
that.
react, and like a couple of arrows bounce off of him.
I think Bab's like, oh, it looks like we're at it again. And I think I'm going to she's going to just kind of leverage herself so that she's not like right in the line of fire since she's squishy. And I'm going to use blast again, but this time she's going to take her lamp and pull the flame from the lamp and sort of throw it at these skeletons. And we'll apply all the things that need to be applied here. Where's my little sheet? For blast, spend an intellect, gives me an edge, so I don't have to spend my 1. And then I can I use my effort
Yes.
on this? Okay, yeah. So I'm going to use effort to give me a little bit of fine control. And then
So using effort for accuracy?
for my accuracy, yes.
Okay, on your
this
attack
time
roll.
as opposed to my damage. Oh, which is good because I rolled a 4.
All right. So good thing you applied effort on that because what you need is a 6. So you hit. And your blast
Okay.
of fire does how much damage?
4 points of damage.
4. Okay, thank you. All right. The skeleton is just bone. So in game terms, it has armor, but it's not taking as much damage because you're not cooking its meat, unlike the ratmen. But you do still inflict some damage to it. Okay. And then Draldin, are you going to be preparing your greatsword? All right, so last action for you. Tantor.
Well, given the fact that these are all at range, I think I'm going to also take them at range. So I'll fire my bow.
Ready? Are you going to aim at the same one that Bablo shot at?
No, I'm going to spread the damage around a little bit. I think Bab's probably got that one. And do I have to declare the use of effort for damage before I fire?
Yes.
Okay, then I'm going to do that. That's a 16 on my roll.
That hits.
So
Definitely hits.
bow damage is 4 plus effort, so 8. Yes,
For just 3.
or 3, so 7.
So, all right. Well, even though it has its bony armor, that's enough to shatter this one into multiple pieces. And you, being the first person who attacked after Bab's little streak of fire, you notice that these skeletons, every single one of them has the left half of its skull painted gray, like with gray paint, or maybe just a paste made with gray stone dust or something like that.
Okay. Interesting.
And Zeiter.
Well, Zider knows that, unfortunately, because they are just bone, that means there's a lot of empty space. So just throwing an arrow their way won't maybe not do a whole lot, but it'll be worth at least a shot. Literally a shot. Yeah.
Tantor just did a bow shot, so
Yes, that gives Zider hope. So let's go ahead and do this. So we're just gonna do just a basic shot at let's go for the one that Tantor injured. See if we can. Oh wait, is that that's completely shattered?
that one's just
So we're down.
Bavlo
Okay.
one that's damaged.
Okay, I will go on the one that Bavlo was deciding to try to cook.
Making some bone broth.
Oh, and that arrow is probably going to go right through. That's a 2. So
But you were trained because of your archer specialization.
I
Right?
am. Yes, I am trained to attack with bows. So
And despite your amazing skill, what your skill basically did was you did a bullseye in between two of the skeleton ribs. And it passes
Beautiful
harmlessly right through it. You're like, aha, if that was a living person, they'd be quite dead.
see, I have skill. Yes.
And the skeletons are going to fire again on Drowden. There are only 3 of them attacking you this time, so make a defense roll. I assume it's going to be block.
Block, yep. 19.
Yes, that succeeds. And as before, you're reducing a moderate wound to a minor wound.
Woo.
And then group intrusion, trotting up from presumably further down one of these other left-facing corridors are a bunch more skeletons that are going to start firing at the rear end of the group. So everybody gets 1 XP. You don't have to pass an XP to anybody else.
Cool. XP is useful.
Let's see. Let's have Zeiter and Bavlo make defense rolls against this 2 collected skeleton attacks.
Is my mage armor still active?
What's the duration of your mage armor say?
My mage armor says, an invisible field of energy surrounds you until you use a 10-hour recovery roll.
Right, so it is still going because you have not used a 10-hour recovery roll.
Yay, okay. So I can use my intellect instead. Thank goodness for that. All right.
And it's ease for you.
Which is good, because I rolled an 8.
Okay, 8 eased is not enough to block all of these shooty shoots being shot at you. So you take a moderate wound.
Can I use my Cypher?
You can use your Cypher. I'll also point out that you probably have a total of 4 moderate wounds, so you don't necessarily need to use it right now. I'm not telling you not to use your Cypher. Like, your character could be like, I don't like being hurt at all. It would be totally fine to use it now if you wanted to.
I think I'll take it. It's fine. We'll hold out.
So 1 moderate wound. And then Zeiter, I need you to make a defense roll. Do you want him to do a dodge? Or
that was
block?
I would like to block. That is eased, and that I rolled a 12.
Okay. Yeah, you block this. Again, making use of your armor. You were wearing the leather armor, I believe.
I am.
Either leather or chain. Okay, good. Okay, so you reduce this moderate wound to a minor wound.
Excellent. Doable.
And Runk, it is your turn. So you have like 4 skeletons up ahead and 8 skeletons behind.
This is my glorious purpose. I turn around and go running at the 8 skeletons, swinging my spear, enchanting something from Order of the Fist that I'm not going to make up on the spot.
Okay. So I'm asking, are you going to attack with your spear or are you going to make an unarmed attack?
Oh, question about the skeletons coming up behind us. Are they carrying bows and arrows?
Yes.
I'm going to throw my spear then. From a semi-safe distance.
Okay. Then that's a range attack roll, please.
I get an 18.
Nice. Okay. So how much damage does your spear do normally?
4.
All right. And you get +2 from that 18. So that is a total of 6. And are you throwing this at one of the 4 that are attacking Zyder or one of the 4 that are attacking Badlow?
One of the 4 attacking Badlow.
Alrighty. So you do 6 damage. Skeletons have their bony equivalent of armor, so this one is really damaged, but not quite out of the fight yet. Okay. And then it's Dralden with their final action.
I'm going to attack the nearest skeleton with my greatsword.
Right. There are 3 in front of you. Those are probably the easiest because otherwise you'd have to move through all of your comrades.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm laser focused on what's in front of me. Okay, 19?
Yes, that totally hits. And that
Okay.
is a minor effect or +3 damage.
+3 damage. I want to take this thing out.
So
So
how much
I
damage
normally
do you normally
8.
do?
8 normally?
You don't need the +3 damage to
I
take
don't
this
need the
thing out.
+3.
No.
Okay.
This is what you're made for. So what
Yes.
would you like for your minor effect? It could be something like, oh, that when other skeleton is hindered, or you ease your block task for a round or something.
I think hinder the skeleton next to it, maybe because the way I shattered this one, it kind of maybe hits the arm of the one next to it holding a bow, so it pushes it a little bit out of alignment, and so it'll be hindered on his next shot.
Okay. I'm going to assume that you just chop this one skeleton's head right off, and then its flying head gets caught on this other skeleton's arm.
Perfect.
And this way, that arm down. Nice. I believe you have an ability that's called successive attack or something like that.
I don't see anything like that. I've got combat prowess and monster bane, and then I've got sacred smite and frightening tales. So
that's my bad. I thought a different. Somebody has something that lets them make another attack after they attack somebody, but I thought that was you.
Zyder has that.
Okay, there we go.
It's quick draw. Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. And we are back up to the top with Badlow. There are 2 skeletons in your face. One of them is the one that well, not in your face. Actually, Zyder's in their face. Sorry, Dralden's in their face. But one of them is the one that you burned already.
Okay. But I've also been struck by the ones coming up behind us, right? So, because Bablo definitely has like an arrow sticking out of her at this point. And I think that is there anything that I can use for cover around me? Is there any place to like kind of get out of the way? Oh, you're muted.
If you move further into the room past Dralder, then there would only be 4 skeletons there. But you are kind of like hemmed in by both sides by a large number of skeletons.
Okay. So if I go forward, I would be dealing with less than a flurry of arrows behind me?
Yes, they're only, if you go into that room, those remaining skeletons there seem to be focusing on Dralden. So you might be safe.
So can I sort of duck underneath Drowden, who's very big and tall? Because I would like to do 2 things in this moment. The first is to move into the room so that I'm only dealing with these 4. The second thing is that I'd like to do is use Shroud of Flame, which is going to cost me 1 intellect. I have edge, so it doesn't cost me anything. Your entire body becomes shrouded in flames until you use a 10-minute or longer recovery roll. Fire doesn't burn me or my equipment, but inflicts 2 damage to anyone who tries to touch me or strike me with a melee attack. I don't know if this is going to work the way I want. Let's see.
Also,
While
it
I'm-
looks really cool.
Yeah, it does. While I'm shrouded in flame, I can reduce the severity of my wounds from heat and flames used against me by 1 step. And then while shrouded, I can touch a foe as a light unarmed attack, inflicting 2 fire damage. So I think that like the way I'd like to flavor this is she ducks underneath, gets in the room with these 4 skeletons, goes up to the one that she's like, then like she says, "Big mistake," lights herself up, and grabs onto the one she's already done damage to try to damage it some more.
Is Shroud of Flame an enabler?
Yes, it is an enabler.
Right. Okay, so then you could still make your touch attack on it.
Yes, because
ahead.
if I can touch a foe as a light unarmed attack, inflicting 2 fire damage.
Yep.
So I'm rolling for this, correct? Sorry.
Yes.
I'm not going to grab that die. Let's see if one of the other die wants to be nice to me. See if they've had some time to relax at the spa. Okay, nicer. That's a nicer answer. Thank you. That's a big 11 for me.
That hits.
So.
And so you do 2 fire damage?
Yes, 2 fire damage with that attack.
All right, so its bony self absorbs a little bit of that, but it is looking particularly hurt. And now you are safer in this room because there are only 2 skeletons here as opposed to the 8 that are behind everybody.
Yay!
Dralden, this is your normal initiative. You could take a regular action here or start swinging your greatsword to be aiming for the end of the round.
Still swinging. I'm a
Alrighty.
creature of single-minded focus.
All right. Then Tantor, it is your turn.
Okay, so the group of these skeletons, there's 8 of them, you said? Roughly speaking?
Yes. Sorry, I nodded, but I did not speak.
No, it's
yes.
okay. I'm just making sure. And to have clarity, Jordan has entered that space, like hand-to-hand, melee?
Dralden has moved up at least to be the... So if I'll quickly re-describe. You were traveling north in this hallway.
Yep.
And there were several hallways leading off to the left, to the west. And Dralden looked down the first one, got shot.
Yep.
And now Dralden and Bablo have moved, if not into that room fully, at least to the extent of this neck of the corridor.
Yep.
And then the other 2 hallways are the source of the other 8 skeletons that have come around from behind.
Cool. So I'm going to turn, and then, given what I'm seeing, visualizing now, that those 8 skeletons are just 8 skeletons hanging out, and they're all doing their job to try to kill us. I'd like to use Scroll of Acid Burst.
Go ahead and make an intellect-based roll, an attack roll against them.
Okay. Intellect is not a massive pool I can draw from, but we'll see what happens.
Are you going to use any effort?
I used my effort earlier, unless this is a new scene.
Effort is every action, not once per scene.
Okay. Well, then yes, absolutely. So I'll use effort to reduce it, and then I rolled a 17.
Okay. So yes, you just drop this burst you can cast from your scroll, and then this just spray of dragon breath-like acid just coats all 8 of those skeletons. How much damage does it do?
So it does 4 damage.
And you rolled a 17, right?
Yes.
All right, so you get +1 damage from that. So that is a total of 5 damage to all 8 of those skeletons in an immediate area.
Awesome.
And then it's Zyder's turn. Zyder, you have a bunch of very wounded skeletons.
Yes. We're just gonna eeny, meeny, miny that one. Because at this point I might as well. So we're just gonna pick one at random. And see, this time I can actually hit something. That is a 7. I think I will go ahead and actually use my effort if I
I'm
to
gonna
bring
stop
that
you
to it.
because a 7 will
Oh,
hit.
oh, well, fantastic.
Skeletons are
For
just
there, I
cheap
was
little
worried.
labor.
I was worried. But yeah, okay. So that, well, 5 damage. Does that takes 1 down
Yes, it was
then?
quite her.
Okay. Because then she can quickly reload. I'm going to use 2 speed, use my quick draw. Because I've got a few things of speed, so I'm going to use them. And actually, that's only going to be 1 because I have 1 edge. I can do this. There we go. And I'm going to make a second attack on
Great.
another one that still happens to be around. So
Yeah,
that's an
there are 3
enabler.
more back there that have, your face illuminated in their non-reflective eyes.
So on that one, I actually probably will use my effort because that's a 3 on the die. So that'll give me a 6.
Yes, that'll work. And
Okay.
that one also gets shot dead, undead, whatever you want to call it. It's destroyed by your bow shot. So, and 2 of them. All right. Now the skeletons get to go. And Zyder, instead of these attacking you as a group, I'm going to have the 2 of them attack you individually. So this is 2 easy defense rolls. And Dralden, they're going to continue attacking you. So you need to make 2 defense rolls. And Bav, they can't reach you. So they're going to turn and attack Runk. So Runk, I need you to make a dodge or a block roll, your choice. So let's start with Zyder because I talked to her first. Take your 2 easy defense rolls.
Yep.
And are you blocking or dodging?
I am going to block, just because that's eased.
Sure.
On both. That's a 12 and a 17.
Okay, those both succeed. So when they're attacking individually, they're only inflicting minor wounds. And so your armor reduces that to no wounds at all.
Excellent.
And Dralden, how about you? 2 very easy defense rolls, which I assume are block for you.
Yes, 8 and 10.
Success and success. So you again take no damage because of same situation as Zyder. And then Runk, I need you to make 1 difficult dodge or block roll because they're all 4 of them are acting in concert against you. But I have faith in you. You can do this.
I appreciate your confidence in my rolling ability.
He's never seen you roll, has he?
No,
Never seen your
especially
dice.
not in a Cypher game. They don't like me. But anyways, I got a 13.
Okay. Is your speed defense eased? Like from skill or anything?
No.
All right. So unfortunately, you duck, dodge, dive, duck, and dodge into one of these arrows, and you take a moderate wound.
No. Well, okay. So, if you don't mind, I know we're gonna have a question portion, but the wound items are going to be new, correct? And
Yes.
so when you say I take a moderate wound, that I only take 1 point, I only take 1 box in that, right?
Yes.
Okay. Will there be opportunity in other fights to take more than 1 dot, or is it always going to be 1 dot?
For most situations, creatures only inflict 1 type of wound. Potentially, we are thinking that super villains and giant monsters and that sort of thing might be much more dangerous than that. So if you get attacked by a 70-foot tall kaiju monster, that might inflict mortal plus, which is 3 mortal wounds. But under normal circumstances, a creature will inflict one of a type of wound.
And for the moderate wound, there's no penalty to your
For
dice.
individual moderate wounds, there are no penalties, right? But when you are all full up on moderate wounds, then you are hindered.
Gotcha.
But there are ways to get rid of wounds out of combat, or even in combat. Actually, you can just be like Yeah, walk it off. I'm tough. All right, so you took a wound, and that was the skeletons, and now it is Runk's turn. Time for monk vengeance.
Yes. So I think, if you don't mind, I'd like to use my ability of flurry I'd like to use 2 speed in that. I do have an edge in speed, so it only would cost me 1.
Correct.
All right. And so that, for those that don't know, flurry is after making a light unarmed attack. As an extra action on my turn, I get to make another light unarmed attack against the same target or a different one.
So actually what you'd want to do is you would first want to make your unarmed attack, and then activate flurry and do your extra attack.
I was just giving you a heads up.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. I'm kind of like that. So all right, so I will attack the skeleton nearest to me, since they already apparently came at me.
Yeah, and there are 6 to choose from, because 2 have been destroyed by Zyder's bow shots, but the other 6 are very wounded from Tanter's Scroll of Acid Burst.
Wonderful. I will, yeah, the one right in front of me.
That one, yeah.
That
I'm
one,
looking at
that
you
one
funny.
right there. Man, it's like the chicken outside. I get a 15 on that.
All right, that hits. How much damage do you do?
I do 5.
All right, well, you summon upon your association with the Order of the Fist and just punch the head right off one of these things.
Go, hiya!
And now you want to use flurry?
Yes, I do.
All right. Spend your speed, which only costs you 1 because you're edge, and then make your extra attack.
And so is that skeleton down then?
Oh yeah, you punched its head right off.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Well, sometimes they still keep going. I've seen that in horror movies. And so I look at the one right next to it and I point at it.
It points back at you.
Ooh, I got a 20 on that.
Wow. Okay. Well, 1 that hits. Let me check something really quick. So that is a natural 20 on your flurry. Flurry is an action. When you roll a natural 20, you get the points back that you spent on it. So you also get that 1 speed back. So you're going to inflict normal punch damage, which is for you, what is that?
Just the 5.
Or just 5. That's like more than a sword. So
I hit pretty
bam.
hard.
And for the natural 20, you would normally get either +4 damage or a major effect, but your 5 damage will destroy this one. So what would you like for your major effect?
Can my major effect cause additional damage or no?
I would, you know what? Because you are really, really cool, I will let you make a 3rd attack roll to kind of continue your swing on through this skeleton and punch into the 3rd one.
I got a 2 on that.
Well, it is eased.
That's true.
But that's not quite. Like, this skeleton saw where you're coming from, and you just barely graze its chin, but don't do any damage. And it kind of, like, you see its mouth go, like it's silently laughing at you. It's taunting you now.
Oh, I'm not happy.
And Drowlin, it is your turn. There are 2 skeletons in this room.
Going after the next bony boy.
And one of them is hindered because of your thing from last round.
Heck yes. Nat 20!
Whoa, okay. So you just obliterate that one, because I know you can just do its full damage and that much. What would you like for your special effect?
Can my swing keep going into the next one because they were standing next to each other?
Yes, inspired by Runk doing something very similar. You probably have a little rivalry thing going on, like which is more powerful, the sword or the fist. Make another attack roll on this other skeleton here.
Okay, only a 9.
Well, that is sufficient. You only need a 6 to hit these.
Okay. 8 damage.
8 damage. And so you just obliterate the other room. And so now you have this room all to yourself. You and Bav can, just sip from a goblet of wine or something while the other skeletons are being dealt with. And we are back up at the top, and we only have 4 skeletons left, and I am sure that you all can handle these 4 skeletons without taking any more damage. So I'm just going to assume that you do that, so we don't need to go and deal with the nitty-gritty of nickel and diming these things down to the last bit. So you have defeated these 12 skeletons, and all of them have the left side of their skull painted gray for some reason. What would you all like to do?
Would monster lore help at all with the painting? Like, would it tell me anything?
Sure. Why don't you make a monster lore roll, please?
Okay. So that I'm trained in monster lore. Okay, 18.
Nice. Okay, so you believe that, one, this is an indication of ownership, like whoever did this painted them on, so they could identify their skeletons and perhaps that they could recognize certain other people. And you have heard that there is a necromancer who has been lurking around the Ghoul's Labyrinth named Grotto Nor, and he is said to paint his skeletons with this kind of gray on half his face.
I relay that information to the rest of the group.
Maybe he's the cause of your problems here then, Bav.
Potentially. But, I guess the next problem is how are we going to stop him?
And you can stop just about anything if you hit it hard enough.
She looks from Drawden to Runk. Suppose you got a point. She's also still on fire, by the way. I can't actually not be on fire until I make a recovery roll. So
You can turn that off anytime you like.
okay,
You're not stuck that way.
because it was like you're shrouded in flame until you make a recovery roll, and I'm like, does that mean I can't turn it off? Are there no brakes on the spike? Anyway, so yeah, so then she's going to like not be the Human Torch for a second.
So I know that some of you are wounded, and dealing with wounds is some new options here for a new version of Cypher. So in addition to the normal method that exists in the current Cypher, where you can make a heal roll against the difficulty of how many points you want to do, there's also rallying. Rallying is a one-action sort of thing where you're like, oh, walk it off, or like, oh, I'm going to, rub dirt on it. It'll be fine. And you just spend some might, depending on the type of wound, and the wound goes away. That's the fast way. There's also the slower way where you say, oh, you know what? We're going to use one of our recovery rolls, and you get points back in the normal manner, but also as part of that, depending on how long the recovery roll is, you automatically get rid of certain kinds of wounds. So anybody who wants to get rid of a minor wound could just rally and spend 2 might and be like, I'm fine. If it's a moderate wound, you could spend 5 might and be okay, be fine. But if you want to sit down and use a recovery and gain some points back as well, then we can address how many wounds you get back for doing that.
I'm going to spend my 5 might to get rid of my moderate wound.
Soft girly. I'm gonna use a recovery roll. Like the little princess that I am.
All right.
So
so if you use a 10-minute recovery roll, you get all of your minor wounds back.
okay. But I have a moderate wound. So
you'd need to use a 1-hour recovery roll.
okay.
Do you want to make camp in one of these rooms and wait for an hour?
I think that I cannot make that decision without talking to my party first, and that will determine what decision Bab ultimately makes. And she's gonna say, can we stop for a rest before we go
Have a little
face
sandwich or
a
something?
potential necromancer?
Also, I want to point out that just because Bav wants to use a recovery roll for a certain amount of time doesn't mean that you all have to. Like, if you you can just sit here and rest for an hour and have a meal or whatever. And if Bav is the only person who uses an actual recovery roll, that's fine. It does not trigger any of you else having to do a recovery roll.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You can tell Drelden's itching to go on. But I guess if you're wounded. Okay. Yeah, sure. I guess if everyone else wants to, just kind of holding onto the sword, looking like they're ready to hit something else.
The alternative is somebody could use the healing skill to bandage her wounds and deal with that.
Mm,
Not a skill I possess.
Oh,
Mine
it's a
only works
Cypher,
if you have
so
to-
you can try it even if you don't have the skill.
That's true.
mm.
Yeah, why not? I'll try
It's
to.
either a healer or killer, so might as well give it a shot.
Yeah, why not? Can't hurt. I mean, it could. Don't
I'm
move.
a wizard, quake in my boots.
Just don't move, okay?
Right.
So
Don't move.
this
Here,
will
bite down
be-
on this.
This will be a difficulty 3 task
Mhm.
that takes 10 minutes.
Okay. So
And
that's-
other characters can help. So if somebody wanted to like help, put some sort of ointment on it or help bandage, et cetera, that would give you an asset on this.
I'll help.
okay. Well,
Do some healing sometimes.
I've rolled an 11, so that should be more than enough for my difficulty.
Yeah. Good job. Okay, so yeah, between the two of you, you treat Bab's injury. It's pretty much probably just kind of grazed your thigh or something. You're gonna need to get your pants repaired. That's annoying, but your wound is now gone.
Good thing my cousin's a tailor.
While Dralden, since you're eager to move, I assume you probably were standing guard.
Oh yes.
Okay. So towards the end, when they're finishing up treating Bab's wound, for a moment there, you thought you saw somebody kind of like duck their head around the corner to look at what y'all are doing, and then disappeared.
Somebody out there.
Well, if they're this necromancer, let's deal with them.
Is it the giant just wondering what the noise is?
It was way too short to be the giant.
Think Dralden just being Dralden. Just, who goes there?
There is no response. But now that you kind of like filter through your memory and through the limited amount of light you had, this person also had half their face painted gray.
You're as subtle as an earthquake. I keep moving.
And I think there's very much a Mean Girls moment here where it's like, you can't just ask people who goes there. What do you think this is? A
I just
palace?
I just did. But they have same paint as the skeletons. So maybe they can take us to the necromancer if they're not the necromancer themselves.
They can only take us if we catch them.
I'm moving.
She's jogging next to Dralden because Dralden's so much taller.
Y'all gonna pursue this person?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So you go back out in the hallway and you see them moving at top speed towards that area where all the debris is, kind of blocking the entrance.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't go that way. They turn right, kind of ducking into something that you can't see.
I'm going to spend 2 intellect points for quarry on them as they're my target.
Nice. Okay.
So, yeah. Best of luck getting away now.
All right. So you're going to continue following this person?
Yep.
All right. Seems to be a fairly strong, burly, masculine presenting sort of person, judged by as they're skedaddling away with their back to you. And because Tantor has quarry on, Tantor at this point you're just like, oh, look, he's leaving really prominent footprints in the dust. There's been a lot of activity here between skeletons and acid bursts and all that sort of thing, but you can see, it's a scared person running, that sort of thing. You get to the area where the debris is, and you think that you could spend some time clearing that debris and get into whatever room is beyond that. But there is a kind of human-sized gap off to the right leading down another hallway.
Okay. If that is the feeling that I get, then I'm probably going to point our paladin that way.
You definitely get the feeling, coupled with you see a couple of very prominent footprints in the dust on that side.
He went this way.
Then we go this way.
What if it's a trap?
I always think everything could be a trap. That's why I'm still alive.
Are you going to pursue this fellow?
Yep.
Oh, yes.
All right. I would like everybody to make speed rolls, as this is a chase sort of situation.
Okay.
See how
I'm
easily
so
you
bad
catch up
at
to him.
speed.
I have an asset automatically on this task. Ooh. That's a 19.
Right. I don't think I have any assets. All right. On this task. Roll high for me, little dice. I believe in you. You can do it. It's a 17. Look at that. All I had to do was give it encouragement.
And Morgan, what about Runk and Heather and Zyder and Mav and Dralvin? What you got?
I've
That
got
is 12 for Zyder.
Runk got a 3.
We got a 10.
Okay. So, Tantor and Bav are kind of in hot pursuit, trying to catch up to this guy. The rest of you are dealing with a bit of the rubble going through the obstructed area. And Tantor and Bav, this person, again, ducks, like, momentarily, like, looks over their shoulder, and you see that they've got, like a big Freddie Mercury sort of mustache. Looks over their shoulder, looks kind of surprised that you're catching up to him, and again ducks out of the way into a side passage, and you hear him yelling. It's like, boss, they're on their way.
Oh, perfect. So if is he breaking line of sight every time? Is that the sort of game I'm getting here?
This is the second time that he has broken line of sight.
Okay. Yep. I'll just keep going. He's the quarry, so he'll lead me to the big fish.
Okay, so you zip on up there, and you get to the point where he made a sudden right turn. Are you going to head that way?
I am.
Okay, so you come around the corner, and this is very much kind of a stereotypical necromancer's lair, in that there's bones kind of like propped up against the wall. There's a row of these little alcoves with the green flame skulls in them, and there are 4 creatures that you pretty sure are zombies. You don't see the guy with the mustache, and you hear a noise further back in the room that says, "Who dares disturb the work of Grotto Nor?" And I would like everyone to roll initiative.
Found
Oh,
him.
God.
Found him.
I'm gonna go last anyway, but
Technically, you could take a break. So, you know,
true.
standard lunch break,
got it.
some kind of union necromancy, whatever.
I got a 9.
That is a nat 20 for
Ooh,
Zyder.
there we
Yeah,
go.
20 for Zach.
Big 11 for my inability wizard, purely.
Oh. And Runk?
Got a 5.
Oh my.
I rolled a 16.
16. And you're trained, Tantor?
Not in initiative, no.
Okay. I have, like, a lot of these characters are jumbled up in my head because I made them all on the same day.
Sure.
Okay. So we will start in 20 with Zyder. Zyder, you come. I'm just going to assume that Tantor and Bav like pause for a moment to assess the room, and Zyder, you just are running full tilt. You heard that guy yell. You got your bow ready. You see 4 zombies, and that's it. I mean, the spooky room, but you don't see any other foes.
Actually, I am going to utilize one of my Cypher. I'm going to do reveal unseen. So until my next turn, all penalties associated with attacking or defending against a foe who has cover or superior position, is camouflaged, or is invisible, because I'm smarter than they are, and I got this weird feeling, and they gave themselves away.
Okay, so that is a subtle cipher. It is not an action to use that. So you still have an action. And you
Fabulous.
just look around the room with your keen archer eyes, and you see two things. One, there is like an empty potion bottle that's just kind of like rolling in a slow circle on the floor. And there are a couple of puffs of dust on the floor, like somebody has just taken steps on a very dusty floor. So you're like, oh, that guy's right there, sneaking
Yep.
around invisibly.
And I draw my bow and I fire at
Okay.
them. Or
So normally this would be basically impossible because he's invisible, but you have negated his invisibility for the sake of this attack. So
Yes.
and that is a 16 trained,
that hits him.
eased. So that is going to be 5 damage towards him. And potentially, depending on what he did, probably a potion that may or may not pull him out of invisible. I'm hoping it does, or at least leaves a blood trail to find him.
And how much damage did you do? 5?
5.
Yeah, so your arrow goes into, roughly where his torso ought to be and kind of hangs in midair. And he yelps, "Ah! How'd you see me?" And the arrow remains visible. He is still invisible, but the arrow definitely is indicating where he is.
You were so poorly hidden, I could have shot you in the dark. Try again, and pulls another arrow and aims it at him.
And then next would be Tanger,
Yeah.
but it is not Tanger's turn. The source of the voice, you assume, is Grotonor, steps out, and he is this really big creature, not human, perhaps a small giant or a big ogre. He's about 8 feet tall, very, very broad torso, just this hideous, ugly, like open mouth face. And then he kind of continues stepping out into the light, and you realize that he has a second head growing from his shoulders. And this second head is like pale gray flesh, like a ghoul. And where that part of his neck connects to his body, it's all like yellow and purple, like a big old bruise. And the left arm kind of growing from there is also gray and dead looking. And he is not paying attention to Zyder for the moment, but he has noticed Tanter and Bav, actually. So I would like Tanter to make a defense roll as he is moving up to swing at you with this big old club in his right hand.
Okay.
And Bav, I would like you to make a defense roll as he is casting some sort of spell at you.
Hate that. All right, little die. You can do it. I believe in you. Let's go. Wrong die to believe in. That's a big 7, but I do have mage armor, I guess, so there's that.
Okay, so your defense is eased, but that is not enough.
Mhm.
So you take a moderate wound from this weird necromantic blast that he hit you with. And you feel there's like a bit of like a channel of back and forth energy that's flowing there. You're not sure what that's doing.
Wild.
I hate that. She just like I guess I don't know what that looks like. Does it forcefully like push her away, or do I just sort of like
You feel
engulfed
like
in it?
it's trying to siphon some of your life energy back to him.
Hate that. Hate that. Am I able to talk? Can I say something to this effect and let the
Sure.
party know?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that's bad. I was like, hate that. Oh, it's sucking something out of me. I don't like it. Ugh. Ugh. And she tries to shake herself off as if like physically shaking is going to do anything. It's not, but we can pretend like it might. Um,
And Tentor, what do you got?
I rolled a 12 to block because my blocking is easier for me to do.
How many steps is your block
It's
eased?
eased 2.
Okay, so you do block. So that reduces this moderate wound to a minor wound.
Okay. I've tracked that.
And then Tentor, it is your turn.
Okay. So we are going to use a subtle cipher, and we are going to bleed.
Cool. Now, it's a subtle cipher. You can use that after the attack, so you can wait until you've actually hit.
Oh, fair point. I'm going to double strike as well. So I'll spend my might, and I will double strike. And if all goes well, then I will also bleed.
Okay.
That is a 13.
13. Your knives are eased, right?
Yep.
Because they are light weapons.
They are.
That is still not enough to hit him.
Okay.
You have XP, though. You could re-roll it. I'll let you re-roll that.
Yep, I'm going to spend my XP to re-roll that, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so that's a 17.
That'll hit him.
Okay.
And that's +1 damage. So what's your total
It
damage?
is. So double strike is 6 damage, but the +1 is 7. The bleed goes now, and that's 3 more. This ignores armor.
Okay. That'll be on his next turn, right? Or on your next turn?
Yeah, so it states physical attack gives your foe a bleeding wound that inflicts additional 3 points of damage on your next turn, yes.
So on your next turn, automatically 3 damage. Yeah, he's got like a leathery, tough sort of skin that seems to block a little bit of that attack, but most of that got through. Nice job. Do you want to move around in the room a bit? He has come right up to you.
Yeah, I definitely want to give him. I will give him the space, and like a bullfighter, I will move out of the way because I want our paladin to have the front face of that.
Nice.
Well, at least one of the faces, because there's 2.
Okay. Then it is Freddie Mercury guy's turn. And he's got to... He's moving around to basically flank Tantor. Even though this arrow is sticking out of him, he's still, kind of stealthy. So Tantor, I would like you to make a defense roll as he is trying to stab you.
Stab. Okay, so that's a 14.
Okay. And this is a block again?
This is definitely a block, yep.
Okay, so your defense is hindered because he is semi-invisible.
Oh, okay.
But that is still enough. So what he was going to do was a moderate wound, so your block is effective and you only take a minor wound. And that means he is no longer invisible.
Okay.
Dralden, you are a 9. Okay, big swing?
Yeah, but I'm going to be swinging, so I'm going last.
Alrighty. Then... zombies. Where are my zombies? There they are. The zombies go right before Bav. Hey, Bav. These 4 zombies are going to attack you because you're right there.
They don't have to. They could
I
choose to
know.
literally attack anyone else.
I know, but you're the best.
Give peace a chance.
So this is just going to be one very tough defense roll, as they're all just kind of swarming you and trying to tear chunks of your flesh off in a very rude manner.
Fun times. I do have my mage armor again. And so I'm gonna make sure that that's up. And sorry, I wanted to see something. Would I be able to use Shroud of Flame in this circumstance, or would I have to wait for my turn to activate it?
That would be on your turn. Yeah.
Okay, just want to double check before checking whatever else I have to do. I have my little cipher that I've held on to this point, just in case as well. So, new dice. Let's go. My dice do not like me today. It's a big 4.
Okay, so altogether, these zombies inflict a moderate wound on you.
Okay. Can I use deflect wound on
Yes.
this?
You're going to use your Cypher?
Yeah, I'm gonna use my Cypher.
All right. So I'm picturing just at the last second, you kind of pull a Doctor Strange maneuver and just
Yeah.
block that thing.
Yep.
Nice.
I think it's gonna be very much like a no touchy. That's enough of that.
And the zombies, by the way, the zombies also have half their face paint gray. It's sort of a theme for this guy. And then, Bavlo, it is your turn.
It is my turn. I was so shocked from being attacked, I needed a moment. But anyway, yes, and now I would like to activate Shroud of Flame.
Righty.
So-
So you ignite your flame,
Should-
and what would you like to do as your action?
So how close is this necromancer to us? Because if I'm gonna go out, might as well go out with a bang.
He's close enough that you could hit him with a short range attack,
Okay.
like blast, for example.
Yeah, so she's gonna basically do this. She's like, you want my energy? You can have it, and everything that comes with it, and blast.
All right, make your blast roll.
Okay. That
You know
dice was...
he's a fairly tough foe, so you might want to apply some effort to damage.
Yes,
or
I
to,
will
to
be.
attack.
I would like to apply effort, and I think I'm going to apply it to my damage this time. Which, I rolled a 16. Yeah! So,
Unfortunately, a 16 does not hit him. Wait. He is big. It does hit him.
haha. Big
And you know what?
target.
Michael, that meant that your attack on him would have hit him as well. I forgot that he is large
okay.
enough that he is defending us one level lower.
We're good.
All right. Vixie, how much damage does blast do?
Blast does 4 damage, and I'm adding my
Right. Plus
my
3 from
effort to that damage, yeah.
All right. So he's got his natural body armor and kind of a stinky undead sort of ness to that. But yeah, that does a lot. He's looking pretty hurt between the very righteous arrow strike and the blast of fire. And now, Runk, it is your turn.
Wonderful. I will I will yet again throw my mighty spear at another foe. And so I will raise my spear back and go, oh, and toss it at the necromancer.
At the necromancer, okay. Oh, he's a big target. Your hands are feeling really gross and itchy right now.
Wonderful. Are they still red?
Yeah, as you throw them, you're like, oh, I'm getting weird little blisters on my hands from something. I'm sure
Well,
that's fine.
Fine. That could be why I rolled a 1.
Oh no.
But I'd like to, can I spend an XP to re-roll?
If you have XP, yes you can.
I do. I have 2 XP, so I'm gonna re-roll it because that one was horrible. That was practice. That is better. I get an 11.
Okay. He uses his big old club and just kind of bats it away mid-throw. Ah, your puny weapons are nothing against my necromantic powers.
My mouth is hanging open.
Do you want to move somewhere else in the room? Or kind of stay back where you were in spear throwing range?
Oh, I'll move closer because I have to get my spear back.
That's a good point. Okay. Then we are back at the top with Zyder in 20.
I haven't gone yet.
My bad. I need to make a
I wanna
note that
swing my
Draldin
sword.
is doing a final action. Yes.
So Draldin, being Draldin, is going to charge in at the necromancer. And I'm going to apply effort to my damage. I'm also
Okay.
going to spend 2 intellect to activate Sacred Smite.
Okay.
So I'm going, if I hit, I deal an extra damage from divine energy coursing through my my weapon.
All right. So that's a lot of bonus damage.
If I hit 19,
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
smash.
So that is a minor effect or an additional 3 damage.
Additional 3 damage. Here we go. So that's
Okay.
originally 8 plus 1, so that's 9 plus How much from the effort?
3.
So 9 plus 6, 15.
Okay. Unfortunately,
Uh-huh.
you take your mighty swing at him, and your mighty swing swooshes right through what you thought was him, and it actually was an illusion of him, and he is standing a few feet away. So you get 2 XP, 1 to pass off to somebody else. You're a very necromancer cheaty sort of GM intrusion.
I will give 1 to Tantor.
Fabulous.
Okay, now we're at the top of initiative with Cider.
Yes.
Geraldine, how do you feel about that tricky necromancer trick, by the way?
Geraldin's very unhappy and is now praying because obviously this is going to take a lot more work, but they like a challenge, so.
You do have a moment of satisfaction of his eyes kind of bug out when he sees you charging. Yeah. All right, Heather, sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. Quick question. See, I guess a potion would be an action, correct?
Yes.
Just making sure for the cipher. Okay. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I am actually going to I'm going to spend 2 intellect, and I'm going to do display of skill, and with that free the free level of effort coming from that, I'm going to give that to Dralden. So display of skill, seeing you use your weapon in combat, gives one ally confidence that equates to a free level of effort they can use on an action of their choice. Conversely, one foe can be cowed by this display, giving you a free level of effort on an intimidate task. Actually, no offense, Dralden, but I'm actually going to grab that, and I'm going to throw that onto our necromancer. Like to be able to try to intimidate it, because look what I did before.
Okay, so I would like you to make an intimidation roll against the necromancer.
Okay.
And this will be
Okay.
used from your asset. Do you want to use any effort on top of that?
Oh, yes. Yes, because because reasons.
And before you roll,
we are
because
okay.
You're all on the same team, you're all the good guys. You can act in any order. So if somebody else wanted to like also use their action to give an asset to Zyder to make this intimidation successful, you totally could. Or you could be relying on that intimidation and do your own thing. It's up to you. I just want to give the option to be flexible about what you're doing to help each other. Yes, Vixie, is that your signal? I couldn't tell.
I was looking through my character sheet to see if there was an asset I could give, but I mean, she's on fire, physical fire, so I guess that could be an asset to add to the intimidate.
If you decide to use your action to help Heather's character, you just automatically give her an asset.
Okay. So.
Okay. So.
Then I would like to do that.
All right. So Heather, you're using effort.
Okay.
You get 1 from your cool intimidation bow thing, and 1 asset from Bavlo flaring up like the Human Torch next to you. So this is eased by 3 steps.
Okay. Come on, dice. Please. Don't pull a Bev. That's a nat 20.
Whoa!
It's a nat 20!
Okay. So, 1, you get those points back for your effort and for activating that ability in the first place. 2, he says, pointing up 3 fingers, you get a major effect for your nat 20. What would you like your major effect to be? Like, normally intimidation would be him like reconsidering his life choices and perhaps trying to retreat. What in addition to that would you like? Throw me a suggestion.
I would um so I haven't done an arrow. I'm just intimidating him. I'm just making sure I understand the assignment. That's what happened here. So I basically pulled back my bow and we just kind of made this, the Avengers assemble kind of like, at this poor necromancer. I really would like him to I'd like him to drop to his knees, actually. Being so ridiculously intimidated that at least the archer can, find the invisible minion and everything else. And now we've got Bavlo Blaze over here and Dwalden coming back for battering up for round 2. I want him to have his life flash before his eyes and have him on the ground and potentially wet his ropes.
All right, so this Etten, with your flaming friend on one side and double knife guy and the swingy paladin and the monk who is also extremely powerful, and you probably like putting an arrow next to each of his heads. He kind of like looks at the situation and he drops to his knees and puts his big hands up and says, "You must have the power of the gods above on your side. I surrender to you. I will not fight you."
Call off the rest of them.
And
as a motion to the zombies, remove your fronts.
He barks a command in an Orcish language, you think, and the zombies like back up against the wall and just stand there passively. And Chandra, it is your turn next if you want to take an action.
Looks like
do with him what you will.
the problem is like the whole problem with that is that my one of my descriptive words is honorable, and so if he's essentially giving up, I can't just slaughter him.
So I'll throw you a bit of information. In Ptolus, there is a group of people who they pay bounties on monsters that people bring in, and it's kind of iffy on what they do. Like they say they have like magical treatments and stuff, but they're called the Brotherhood of Redemption, and they redeem monsters. And so you could like tie him up, take him up to the city. They would pay you, thank you for bringing in this monster, and months or a year later, he would come out a well-adjusted citizen.
Oh, I like that because we get paid for it.
As a matter of fact, you might have seen in the background when we were up in the city and I had like the pictures going by, there is an Oni, an ogre mage, who is this tall guy with blue skin and has got 4 Ion stones floating around his head. His name is Erlenius, and he is known as the Star of Navastron. He was like the champion of the god of heroism. And he will just like spend time in the ghostly minstrel telling tales, and he'll go do some delving and come back with just more treasure. So like he is like the spokesperson for the Brotherhood of Redemption. He's like, "Yes, it works, for I, the Star of Navasham, are now a great hero and have abandoned my old evil ways."
Right. Okay. Yeah. So I'll just say, all right, tie him up. Put a bunch of rope out.
Hey,
Right.
shouldn't we ask him questions about what he's doing down here?
No.
No, they called me in my sleep.
No, we don't have that kind of time on this stream. Let's just tie him up.
Geraldine looks so disappointed. Like
Freddie
super
Mercury guy
disappointed.
is like, he's making a beeline to run out.
No, don't you go anywhere.
I trip him with my foot.
All right, well, make a trippy attack.
Ooh, I got a 20.
What is with you folks with 20s in this live battle? So he goes sprawling and lands face first in a pile of garbage, and he's knocked out.
Good.
Perfect.
I tie him up with my 50-foot of rope.
Dralden, you have an action. You just want to chop up these zombies. They can't be redeemed. They're mindless.
Yeah, if I can't kill the big guy, which I can't because now he's tied up, then I'll just take out my frustration on some zombies.
All right. The undead head of the necromancer weeps creepy green tears as you kill his little minions. Oh, I spent so much time building those. Why? Why?
Should have built them better.
You're right. I should have. Oh.
Gaslighting him.
All right. So you have him. He has some acquired treasures and some ciphers if you want to go through those things. But I mean, we are going to be at the end of this session.
I do.
You want to know? Okay.
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you what he has. Hold on.
I came here for the treasure. Get me some treasure.
He has a potion of mental clarity that'll add to intellect edge for a while. A
Ooh.
potion of stamina that'll restore might points. An oil of fiery weapon that'll add fire damage to a physical weapon like a sword or a bow.
Ooh.
An amulet of fortitude that makes you immune to diseases, he says, looking at Runk. Oil of armor enhancement that eases block rolls and reduces the severity of wounds that you take. And a rune that seems to be kind of based on the sort of magic that Badlow has, which is anyone striking you in melee takes fire damage. Those are the ciphers that he has. Plus some jewels and gold stuff and that sort of thing.
I grab the amulet of fortitude and quickly apply it.
All right, you put on that amulet and your hands immediately start feeling better.
I'm healed. Woohoo!
Praise necromantic
Yeah,
amulets.
I'm healing. I'm leaving the Order of the Fists. I have to.
No,
Are you only healed as long as you wear the amulet, or you take it off? Does
Uh,
it come back?
I didn't read the instructions on this.
Oh dear.
The disease that you got from that squishy rat man is less than the level of the cipher, so it just cures it.
Whew! That's good.
Here.
It's a nice
Oh,
amulet.
we-
Would hate if you lost it.
well, we don't have to cut. We don't have to cut Ronk's hands off to stop the infection. That's a good thing.
Those would grow
Yay.
back, right? It'd be fine. All right, and you bring the necromancer up to the Brotherhood of Redemption, and they pay you a bounty, and they say, "We'll take care of him. Very good job. We appreciate you, not just mindlessly slaughtering monsters. We will make him." He kind of looks a little nervously at his undead head. He's like, "I'm not sure what we're going to do about that, but I'm sure we can make this head, the living head, a reputable citizen of the Empire." So, congratulations.
And we very much appreciate your coin. Thank you very much.
Bag of gold for this guy. And so now you have some treasure rewards, and you'll get some XP for this, and now you have some funky tales to tell to the other delvers in the Ghostly Minstrel. So nice job, all you tier 1 adventurers who have already made a name for yourself defeating a level 6
Yay.
necromancer Etten. Good
Oh,
job.
dang, nice.
Woo!
Awesome.
So that wraps up the gameplay portion of our session, and I said that we would be able to have a little Q&A, and whether that's you folks or people from the chat or both, I'm fine with either one.
Yeah, I guess the easiest thing for me to do would to start with the players and say, is there anything that we want to ask about the new edition of Cypher and changes or specifics that we want to draw out when we have a captive game designer?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Of course.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say the system is, it was already fairly simple to pick up, at least the basics, and felt very smooth in terms of play. But this feels even more streamlined. I'm guessing that there was an intent there. What what prompted some of the changes? Was it the feedback from the community? Was it just internal? Was it a combination of things? And is the whole goal really to streamline it down so it plays as quickly and easily as possible?
It's definitely a combination of feedback we've heard from, tickets on our website and responses to social media and our own personal games. Like, one of the major changes is that subtle ciphers are now just instant effects. They're not actions. Because a lot of people are like, oh, cool, I've got perfection as a subtle cipher. That means I can roll a natural 20 whenever I want. Oh, but I have to use an action for it? That's weird, So no, that's not the case anymore. Now it's just, oh, I'm going to use this. And you can use it before or after. Like, a lot of times it's like, oh, I really had this cool cipher. I should have used that on this, but I didn't think to use it beforehand. Now, just use it afterwards. Like, if you rolled and you doing a dodge and you rolled poorly, use your 3 assets to dodge. Like, it just makes it easier for the players, and the GM doesn't have to feel like, oh no, you don't get to do that cool thing. Yeah, that was the intent. And just a lot of people probably already run it that way. So we might as well just make that adjustment to how it's kind of more intuitive. I mean, we've been making stuff for this game for 12 years. We've had one different iteration of it with the CSR 5-6 years ago. We're always trying to make it play better and more understandable. So it's just more fun to play.
Yeah, and I think that's been accomplished. I mean, we've enjoyed playing it on the show. It's again fairly easy to pick up and fairly easy to run with, and for us as a show, because we're very focused on the narrative portion of play, it really complements what we do really well. I do want to ask about the decision to move from sort of pool points as a method of tracking damage versus now an actual damage track. Is an iteration out. It's a move away from the previous version.
Yeah. So, and I'm really tempted to talk like you because I talk very differently, but I'm going to be like, well, the reason why we made this change is. I'm not making fun of you. I just tend to emulate other people's speech patterns.
Okay.
So Cypher already had a damage track. You got impaired, you got debilitated, you got dead.
Yep.
And that's not very granular. Like, that's just those 3 steps. And there are creatures and poisons and stuff that attack the damage track. And they've always felt a little cheaty to me. Like, oh, you can have a character who's got 20 might and 5 armor, but the assassin comes up and stabs you, and oh, you failed your might roll. Now you're down 1 or 2 steps on the damage track. You're like, okay, I only have 1 of those left, When we made this shift and put all the damaging effects into wounds, it makes it feel like less of a cheat. Like, the players know that, yes, I have this set up, and it gives the GM a lot more options and the game designers a lot more options for how much damage a thing can do. So it's not just 3 different steps. It's, anywhere from 12 to 15, depending on how many wound points you have. And we can still have significant threats. Like, there could be a dragon, and the dragon bites you and it inflicts a major wound, or you could have a bunch of, small giant rats that inflict a bunch of tiny wounds. There's a lot of options in there. And for a lot of people who are coming to Cypher from another game system like D&D, it has been a big disconnect for them to go and look at how you spend your might points to activate certain abilities. You spend your speed points to activate certain abilities. And you think of those also as points to take damage. And a lot of people are like, well, I don't want to be spending points out of the stuff that's going to make me more vulnerable.
Right.
And when we first started playtesting this, a guy in our group, his name is Ethan, he had never played Cypher before, and it was really fascinating to watch him just spend his points down to 0. It's like, I'm going to spend effort. I'm going to activate this ability. Because it didn't matter that he had 0 points. He was not vulnerable in the way that you would be in the original Cypher for having 0 might. 1, you don't automatically move 1 step down the damage track. 2, some monster that comes and hits you for 8 might, they don't hit you for 8 might anymore. And there are still attacks that do like special damage against a pool, but it really changes the dynamic of how players play their characters. Like, I'm sure you've been in a situation where, like, oh, it's my turn is coming up, but the monsters are going to go, and the monster, is attacking me. I need to spend effort so it doesn't hit me, or maybe it hits me and it does speed damage. Now I don't have enough speed to do the cool thing that I wanted to do. That's not a thing anymore. Like, again, there are rare things that do pool damage, but for the most part, you can suck up those wounds with a dodge or a block or whatever, and still be able to do all the cool stuff that your character can do.
Okay, so a question from chat really quick. Jason asks, so manifest ciphers always take an action, question mark. Are there any subtle ciphers that do something on their own, like disarm?
Good questions. I don't have all the manifest ciphers in my head, but I believe that there are some that, yes, you use an action to activate them, but they give you the option to do things. Like there's one existing cipher in the CSR that is, you can ease a particular type of action 3 times. And that is a manifest cipher in the game. It's like a potion of climbing or something.
Right.
And so 3 times until you take a recovery roll, you can ease a climb task by 3 steps. So drinking the potion, activating the cipher is an action, but using the effect of it is not an action. That's basically an instant. And yes, there are subtle ciphers that do things on their own, like disarm, but we have normally set them up to just trigger on an action. So you can attack somebody, and if you hit them, you're like, oh, I've got a disarm cipher. So not only did I hit them, I also disarmed them.
Nice. Okay. Anybody else here? Questions?
Yep. So I saw that it talked about that character creation is going to be sped up with the new version. So I guess, can you talk about what differences there'll be in character creation? Because I think character creation already today is, having played some other systems that have a lot more difficult character creation, it's already really, I think, really easy to pick up and create a character. Unless you're indecisive like me, and it takes like forever anyways. But what's changing?
The most significant change is that on the current CSR, for example, if you were going to make a martial artist character, you would say, I'm going to play a warrior, and you would go to tier 1 warrior, and there are like 10 or 12 abilities there, and you'd have to look up all of those and go, okay, that's like a ranged attack. That's a thing that doesn't apply to me. This is a thing that doesn't apply to me. You're having to go and make all these choices because you're basically using the general warrior type to build your specific sort of character. In the same way, if Heather wants to make an archer, she has to go, okay, that's a melee attack. That doesn't affect me. This only requires me to have armor. I'm not going to wear armor, that sort of thing. With the new cipher, we make those choices for you. So your character, the monk, comes with a preset list of abilities. You get flurry of blows. You get this other thing. You get this other thing. And Heather's character, the archer, gets the successive attack and gets training in the bow and gets this and that. So, as you said, the indecisive aspect really is under types. And now we just say, oh, you know what? We've pre-named the types. You want to make a barbarian? There you go. You want to get a standard D&D fighter? There you go. You want to get a mage like Vixie was playing? Here are your 3 magey sort of abilities. So we have, like, the CSR version of Cyber Rules has always been more of a tool book than a characters built for your rule book. And we've kind of like swung back to this other way to say, yeah, you know what? It's actually a lot easier just to say, I am a, gloomy monk who strikes with mystic might. And those are the choices you make. And that's it. Like, it was really fun. Like, I stayed up late Monday night making these characters thinking I was just going to make one of them. And I decided to stay up another hour and make all of them because it was fast. Most of the time was actually cutting and pasting all the text into your character sheets. So that is what has sped it up.
Okay. So I want to wait on the chat question just a second because there's an ad break going on. And I don't remember whether or not there is a sub to the channel. So I want to be mindful of that. Anybody else here on cast have questions?
Actually, I'd like to touch back on what you were saying about basically these packages in character creation, which I think it just speeds it up. If you just want to make, either you're making pre-gens or you just want to make some characters and get playing, that's fantastic. But are there either optional rules or options that will allow customization? So if I'm looking at the package that comes with the archer and I'm like, you know what, I really want to switch this out for maybe something over here. Is that still open to both game masters and players?
That is always an option. And now that we're splitting the book into the player's book and the GM's book, we can offload a lot of that over to the GM's book because the player doesn't need to see all the stuff of, well, if you want to swap, this is a swap. Like, it's a lot of wordy stuff for a lot of players who don't care about that sort of thing. But it does say, and we'll call out, if this thing it doesn't have the abilities you want, talk to your GM. There could be another player, another type that has an ability that you want, you could switch for, or you and the GM could come up with something new. We're always wanting to be flexible and help you build the character that you want. But 90% of the time, people are going to be like, I want to play a fighter, I want a mage, I want a cleric, I want a space pilot, all those sort of things. So those decisions are prepared and people can just start playing right away. But yes, the options of customizing that stuff is always there.
Okay, so I'm going to use Gonza's question in chat as our final question. So how many new types are now available or will be available upcoming?
I don't have a specific count, but the book has multiple different fantasy genres like dungeon fantasy, epic fantasy, swords and sorcery fantasy, which is more like Conan, that sort of thing. Got space opera. We've got post-apocalyptic, at least one type of post-apocalyptic, hard science fiction like The Expanse, superheroes, and so on. Each of those has at least 4 different types, if not 6. So the book is going to have 25 to 30 types, I want to say, right off the bat.
Nice. Okay. Well, I know we're over, and that's fine because it was a lot of fun. So I want to thank our Old Ways cast, and then obviously our guest Fixie, and certainly you, Sean, for coming in and running some Cypher. There will be more Cypher System on this channel in about 10 days when Children of the Periphery joins here on Twitch as we take it from podcast to stream. And that is our Cypher System sci-fi adventure game. And your Venn diagram of that show is The Expanse, right? Dune, and Alien. Those are your Venn diagrams for coloring. So come and join us for a sci-fi adventure. We might sprinkle in some Strange New Worlds to that just because we want to give you a little hopium. But before I go, if folks would like to just let us know who they are, what they've been up to, and we can get us all out of here.
Hi, I've been Mav, still am. Pronouns are they, them. Head of Mythos over on the Old Ways podcast, where I'm currently running a Trail of Cthulhu campaign. Oh, having a lot of fun on that, called Silver Screams, 1930s Hollywood. Hope you'll check that out. And I'm a prolific author on the Miskatonic Repository for Call of Cthulhu. I just put out my latest collab with Evan Perlman, a scenario called Hot Bro Summer, which is an homage to reality TV of the early 2000s. So I hope you'll check that out.
Yes, you should go buy Hot Bro Summer, and then you can play some bros, which is awesome. Okay, hi, I'm Morgan. I have played Runk the Monk, the Gloomy Monk, tonight, and I am an Old Ways cast member, and you can find me on Children of the Periphery, our Cypher System space game, which starts here on Twitch next Saturday. Be here. And I also play in RuneQuest and a variety of vampire, all sorts of jazzy stuff. And this was a whole lot of fun. Thanks, Sean, for running it. Really, really, really appreciate it. It was so much fun. And Vixie, it was really lovely meeting you. And the rest of y'all are fine too. No,
if I can just add really quickly, nice. Morgan, for 5 years on this show, you played Lillian Lane. And so please don't discount that.
But you know, I love Lillian. Yes, and I played Lillian Lane on the Mask of Nyarlathotep for almost 5 years.
Yes.
And she's pretty badass. So go back and listen to Mask of Nyarlathotep too.
That's right. Sorry, go on.
And I'm Heather, known as Valley Girl Heather, generally on the socials. I do a lot of things. A lot of projects are coming down the pipeline. I am currently writing the one I can talk about is I'm working with the Dark Space crew. So talk about space stuff. I've got a couple of adventures coming down the pipeline with them. So I'm very much looking forward to that. If you're looking for me here on the Old Ways podcast, I play Lysana, formerly of Cliff Shield when it was still available, when it was still there, in the RuneQuest Adventures in Dragon Pass. I was also on the Mass of Nyarlathotep I was Stasi. So if you go back and you're listening to that, you will find me in a couple of seasons. Beyond that, I will be popping up online in a couple of places. The most recent is going to be a game with on the Wandering Wizard channel here on Twitch on the 1st of October. It's going to be myself and Dimitri Del Castillo, if you know him. It's going to be totally insane. And then you will find me coming back to Madison, Wisconsin next month at Gamehole Con, where I will be part of the cast on Friday night, the Old Ways podcast. We are going to be there, and it is going to be rocking. So I hope to see everybody there.
My turn now, right? Just checking. Anyway, hey everybody, my name is Vixie Bell. I have been, I've had a wonderful time at this table. Thank you for having me. Thank you for inviting me to the table. Everyone has been fabulous, and it's been wonderful to meet the old ways podcast, now Twitch. So, and I look forward to seeing more of your content on Twitch. You can find me over on the Pocket Dragon Pub, where I run, play, and produce games. Currently, we are running our Indie Game Month, where we are spotlighting indie TTRPG designers as well as one indie board game. So feel free to check us out every Saturday in September and one surprise Thursday. So check that out. Coming up, we will also be participating in the Roll for Wishes charity games that are coming up in October. We have two new games that will be premiering. One is called Heat, High Energy Action Tabletop, and the other one that I just got my hands on is Streets of Jade, which I'm super excited to play. And yeah, you'll be seeing us on there, and you can follow us over on socials at Pocket Dragon Pub, or follow me specifically over at Vixie Bell. Thank you so much for having me.
And Sean, if you close us out.
I am muted. I am Sean K. Reynolds of Monte Cook Games, and I'm designer developer for there, and have been working in the game industry for 25 years. I am Sean K. Reynolds on Patreon, Blue Sky, Instagram. I think that's it. And right now, like, if you're interested in Cypher, please take a look at the crowdfunder we're doing on BackerKit for the new version of Cypher. Right now, the big stretch goal push is to hit a certain number of backers so that we can release a new version of our predation setting, which is time-traveling scientists from the future go back to the Cretaceous and get stuck, and they end up genetically engineering dinosaurs to be companions. It's a really fun Cypher setting. We're looking forward to doing that. We just need to get a certain number of backers. Crowdfund is open for a week and a half. And thank you so much for the opportunity to run a game for you folks. You're really fun role players. I was not expecting the level of role playing that you did for a little one shot. So that's really, really cool. And yeah, thank you very much for having me.
All right. Well, thank you and good night. Appreciate it. And we'll see you next time.